That's right. Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens, Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is fucking Talking Shit with Eagle, episode 248. Happy Hump Day, happy Thanksgiving to you. I know we're not too far away from official Thanksgiving, calling it Thanksgiving, so we sneak it in. We got a great guest tonight, somebody you've seen around the community now for a bit. Big Jar Grows, how you doing? Tell us where we can find you and how you're doing today.
Sorry, it's Big Jar Grows here, and just sitting here talking some shit with Eagle tonight, hanging out with you guys. You can find me over at IG on Big Jar Grows. You know, just kind of a new grower here. You know, just talking some shit. Probably not going to learn a whole lot unless you want to learn what not to do tonight. That's for sure. You know, I just got into this year. Had a pretty rough start. We can get into that a little bit later, and we'll just go from there.
Right on. Well, it's not about how big you are. You know that to be on this program. It's just about being a member of the community, and you are most definitely that, and a grower. So, you know, and you got to dig in at some point, right? I mean, you got to tip the scale at some point, and you have, so it counts. You've crossed the threshold. So, yeah. So, how was your day? How was it where you were?
It was good. I'm in Michigan, downstate. I'll just go with I can see Canada from my house. So, if you know, we'll just go with that.
Right on.
So,
yeah, it is.
No, that good
I was
day.
lucky enough to watch most of the snow fade away today.
I watched ours fade away yesterday.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky so far with the weather up here in Michigan.
Yeah, it rained all day here. I was getting a bowl packed and we'll be going.
What are you smoking on over there?
I actually went to my in-laws over the last weekend, and I got some of his outdoor. I got some Juan Herrera, which is supposed to be Jack Herrera and something else. He told me pretty good, and then some rainbow cookies and some White Walker Kush. So, at least that's what he was told to work. That's not too bad.
Nice selections. So what's the flavor terps on the Ron Herrera?
Earthy. Definitely earthy. So it's the smell on it and stuff's not bad, but it's just it's real earthy for sure. So a little bit more what I like. I don't really like that fruity stuff. So it's nice and all, but me, I'm more rocket fuel, methane, you know, straight up gas. So that's what I'm looking for.
I'm smoking a little bit of this Twisted TK from Deep Southern Genetics. And not to rub it in, but it is some fuel hand.
Hey, that's just what I'm looking for at the end of the day. All right, guys, I'm getting Chad all hooked up here. I'll be honest, I'm not very good at multitasking. I'll probably be squirreling a bit tonight. So,
no worries. It helps buy time. Lengthens out the show and you forget what you're talking about every so often.
Yeah, we do that a lot here. So definitely forget. Definitely have a lot of the, okay, yep, that's what you're doing. So, but all right, well, we can get started whenever, man. I'm good. Wow.
So I guess we might as well walk to the beginning here. I mean, when was your first experience with the plant? Your first trial?
Well, I've got like probably one of the more odd ones. I didn't start with smoking. I started with edibles. And it was a half a tray of brownies before somebody realized I was the one eating them. And nobody said anything about what they were. and we were on our way to a Metallica concert down at the Palace. That was probably 20. So you're talking about almost 20 years ago. So I didn't start smoking or anything until after high school or anything. I was that good kid through high school, did everything right and everything. And then after high school, got a job in the shop, and pretty much that's where that went. So I was hanging out with those guys, and next thing we know, we're down at the Palace. We rented a buddy of ours brought his RV down. There was like 10 of us going down, and I'm sitting down there, and these things just start fucking kicking in. And I'd never smoked before, never did any of this before. I was a drinker. I drank a lot back in the day, and don't do so much anymore. And I remember one song of Metallica. I remember going outside to try and get some air because I thought I was going to die. And then I woke up with the people cleaning the Palace telling me I had to leave. All the lights were on. 3-4 hours had passed by. All my buddies left me in the fucking chair in the upper deck of the fucking Palace. And they're just all out in the parking lot laughing their asses off at me, waiting for me to come out there. That's my first experience with it. So yeah, I got fucking ripped the first time. Didn't touch edibles for probably 2 or 3 fucking years after that.
Holy cow.
A little perspective on, oh yeah. The guy that made them, he didn't make butter. All right. All he did was he took about an ounce of pot, ground it up, put it in a brownie batter, and shoved it in an 8x8 pan and cooked it. That was it.
That makes strong brownies.
Fucking right. It was fucking great. But then after that, it just kind of, I got into smoking a little bit after that, and I bounced back and forth between drinking and smoking,
So had you ever experimented with anything else up to that point? I mean, I know you said you were a good boy, but damn, that had to have been
drinking a little bit. I'd probably been drinking for a couple of years by then, and when I mean drinking, I mean, I'll be honest, guys, I went from like that goody, I don't say goody two shoes. I mean, I did shit. I mean, in high school, my best friend was the drug dealer at high school. I mean, it wasn't like I was oblivious to the fact of all of this. I just chose not to participate, But I mean, I was friends with all of them. We all hung out. I was part of that crowd. I just didn't participate in any of it. So when they were all fine with it, no one pushed it on me or anything. No one cared. I was just, I was a sober guy that drove them all around and they loved it. So, but then
that had to be pretty close to a hallucinogenic experience that first time that heavy. That's why I asked if you had it to like acid to compare it to. I mean, that the whole
mushrooms
thing. I mean, eating that heavy, that amount of people.
I passed out. Luckily, I think it was just at the end of the day, my body just shut down and I passed the fuck out. And I don't think if that would have happened, because I was just sitting there, I had a couple of years ago, I got a little too much into edibles as well. And I remember this was probably the same experience. It's just what it was. It's just like you got the wah-wahs, but then you had, think about having the wah-wahs with Metallica playing at 11 in the Palace. And I passed out. I mean, I don't remember any of it.
It's crazy.
But yeah, as far as like seeing any hallucinogens, or I don't remember if I did or not. I may have. I don't remember. Like I said, I did some mushrooms prior to that with a friend of mine. Just kind of like if you wanted to try it. No, that was shortly afterwards is what it was. That's right. That was after I started smoking. So that was a good time too. So, and but no, it was just that, and then I just started smoking after that and hanging out. Basically just the guys at work. Got friends with the guy at work that was dealing it, and kind of went from there.
That's crazy. Not too often that you hear the edible side of things like that. And I'm surprised it just didn't scare the shit out of you to where you didn't want it again. But luckily, like you said, you passed out and it wasn't too traumatic.
Yeah, because when I woke up, I was groggy, but I wasn't like completely fucked anymore. So I think if I had woken up and was still completely didn't know what was going on or anything, other than trying to figure out what was going on and getting my surroundings around. But if I was still as fucked up as I was like 3-4 hours later, I'd have probably had a problem.
So when you did start smoking there, was it around the time where you could actually name a strain, or was it still right around the brickweed phase?
I worked with some pretty cool guys at work. We had a guy that grew. He grew some pretty good fucking shit back in the day. I mean, you're talking early '90s, and he was growing before that. So he always had good shit. So the October, around this time of year, you'd have good weed for about a month. There was about 6 of us, and we'd go through everything he had. And then we were pretty lucky at work. I mean, where I worked in the town I worked in, there was a lot of immigrant workers there. And one of the guys that I worked with, he was pretty well connected in that trade of things for things. And so, yeah, we were getting Mexican brickweed, but I was actually able to smoke his stash because we were friends and stuff. So that helped out a lot. So, he didn't, he sold the brickweed to the guys at work, and me and a couple of buddies of his, that we all hung out, after work and shit. We'd smoke, he'd sell us his stuff. So it was just that step above brickweed. But then one of the owners of our shop, every now and again, he had a buddy that grew hydro back in the day, and he had this shit. All I knew it was called was kryptonite, because that was the color, and that's what it did to you. Period. You were fucking one toke, and you're just sitting down, and if you managed to take 2 or 3 more, it was it. So that shit just kind of glowed green for back then.
So sounds like a pretty good beginning there. Sounds like a pretty good beginning.
Yeah, I've had a pretty lucky journey, I'll say.
Yeah. Nice. It's funny how I think in Michigan the price has stayed consistent for the last 20 years, at least on the darker side of the market, if you will.
It pretty much has.
I mean,
it pretty much has. Back when
I've always thought that to be a little funny.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I was even saying that to American One the other day. He was talking about like $50 eights or something like that. I was like, I've never seen $50 eights. All I can remember is like $50 quarters, 50, 60, maybe at top $70 quarter. But that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I was, when I was doing it, because it was funny. The guy at work, I live in the sticks, but I grew up in the sticks, but we had immigrant workers there, and let's just say a lot of the people around there didn't really care for them. So they didn't want to deal with the Mexican guy at work to buy their weed from. They wanted to deal with me. So I would pick up a QP or something from him and then divvy it up and split it up, and I smoked for free. He didn't give a shit. That's, I hate to say that they were oblivious to the fact that they were working with the guy that I was charging them. If they'd have bought it direct, they'd have saved some money, but hey, that's up to them. So I didn't care. So, but yeah, it was like,
I'm sure he didn't either.
QP up for like $300, and you divvy it out, everybody be happy. No one feel they got ripped off, and you had a good weekend. So yeah, they've been real consistent, I think, too. So I'm even starting to, I hit the dispos every now and again around here, mainly for edibles for life and stuff. And I'm even noticing the prices around here for some pretty good stuff is actually coming down. I mean, I'm surprised, at least around my area, $1.75 an ounce for GG4.
That's pretty good.
200 for some Mac 1. I mean, I'm not buying it, but I think that's reasonable. I mean, and that's medical, of course. That's not the rec side. So where I'm at, there's no rec available. I got to drive over by Flint to go that way.
But yeah, I can't say that prices reached up here. At least not the last time I had went through my local dispo anyway, which was like a month and a half ago, and we weren't hitting them prices yet. Sad.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe just more down here. Let's see, it's not, that'd be like over, I'll probably get over where I'm at. It's over like up here area. So we got like 3 there. So, they've been there for a
I
little
think
bit.
that I think that has something to do with it too, because this is like the only one that's opened up in like a big circle. You know what I mean? And it's still fairly like 3 months new. And I think they're like still reaping
Oh,
some of
yeah.
the benefits, or for being the only one within the area a little bit. So
Well, hey, can you blame them? I mean, it's
yeah.
the way it is. So, if you're the only one up there, you can charge a little bit more when you don't have competition.
True. It's funny because he's got himself pinned up right across the street from the Walmart. the busiest spot in town.
Go Tim Hortons next door, and he's got the perfect crowd. Grab a cup of coffee, go to Walmart, get your stuff, grab a bag on the way home. You're done. What more do you need?
Oh no! I made sure the tattoo shop got the place next to the coffee shop. I actually called that shit like fucking months ago before he even thought about like the switch there. I was like, man, you need to like put in a coffee fucking shop or access to one next door, and fucking people would hang out in the tattoo shop all day long and drink coffee. I bet you.
Oh yeah, they would. Oh yeah, they would.
Now he's down next to the coffee shop, and he may not get rid of me during the day.
Yeah, the work's looking good there. I saw some of the pictures he was putting up, man. You guys doing good work there. Looking good. I like the steel paneling. So I like that.
Looks good. I went in yesterday and trimmed everything around it, and I went to stop by today, and it was all painted, so everything's looks like all those metal things are framed and they look like black. They actually look like they're framed black panels and shit. And, it looks really cool. Really cool what they got going there. I like the people I meet in the tattoo shop, man. I've met some of the coolest people I've ever met in the tattoo shop. So
yeah, I only got a couple tattoos, but yeah, they're definitely some cool folk that are there.
It's again, I find it to be just as entertaining, and the range of people getting ink these days is right there with the range of people indulging in cannabis. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of, I seen this cat in there not so long ago. What was he? He was well over 60. Well over 60. I want to say 68-ish. Going bald. He had the like almost like the monk kind of hairline, if you will, and the nice bald spot in the middle, kind of uniform all the way around. And he had his first tat. He had like a stick man mowing. Looked like he was mowing the top of the fucking hairline. Yeah. It was just stoked about it, man. He just came from Florida, fucking showing it off down there. Yeah, totally. And Craig, biggest sense of humor about it too. And I was thinking about another tattoo. I was like, that's awesome. First tattoo at like 68. Shit, that's awesome.
Well, it's like I go to my grocery store here. Last couple of times I've went in there. There's a guy. There's a couple in there, probably in their 60s, getting stuff set up for their first grow. Another guy in there, just picking up stuff for his grow, in his 60s, and he's like, oh, I'll be back next week to get the rest of the stuff, man. It's just like, okay, all right. It's definitely opened up some stuff for him. So, my neighbor right next door, he's retired in his 60s, and he had a forest last year. I gave him some clones, and he grew up some really nice plants this year. So he was super
that'd
happy.
be like that would be like the perfect retirement hobby. You know what I mean? Especially like right now, you got somebody got time to like just baby the shit out of their garden and keep things completely on point. That'd be heck
I don't.
yeah. I bet you they're bright eyed and bushy tailed.
Oh yeah. I get up to go to work. The light's on there. Every now and again, he'll pop his head out the window. Oh, that's right. You got to go to work, don't you? All right, I'll be inside hitting a ball. See ya. So, but he's a cool old dude. So him and his wife. So he keeps an eye on the place for me and stuff. And he offered up a bunch of equipment for me from his indoor grows. He just does outdoor now. He does. I think this year he did 6 or 8 plants, but they're all 10, 12 feet, 8, 9 feet round. Him and the wife out there just hanging them on a ladder, trimming for like 2 weeks. Brought me over a stick, probably 2 foot long, all trimmed up. Said, "Here, you can fucking dry it. I trimmed it for you. Enough of this shit." So, yeah, towards the end, he's like, "Yeah, they just got too big." He goes, "That's trimming for 2-3 weeks is just way too much." He goes, "It's more than I'll ever need." He goes, "I'm just going to put them in bags next year instead of going right in the ground." So give them a little bit smaller.
I can't help but wonder that's where the like fresh froze to the rosin press. The whole thing came from was just one frustrated dude that was like, I freeze my trim anyway. You know what? Fuck this. Just throw it all in the freezer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'll deal with it later. And then squished it and was like, that was a great idea.
Yeah. It's like I mean, some of this shit that it's like, even that when I got into it, I was it's all flower for me. I don't dab or anything. When I met you in Clio, I got that stuff from Fagroli. That's the only type of concentrate I've had other than hash from you and some hash from some other people. But I don't dab. I ain't got a rig or anything. So looking to maybe get one. Something, maybe a nectar collector or something like that. Just something simple, just to fuck around with. And, but it's just like, I want to know the story behind the first guy that thought about taking a bud, sticking it in a hydraulic press that let's be honest, they probably heated up these plates with a propane torch or something. Let's be honest here. They weren't using it like they are now. They just heated up these plates with a torch, got them nice and hot, threw some shit in there and squished it. Some stuff come out. Probably looked at his buddy and says, "You gonna smoke it or me? Because one of us is smoking this." I mean, I got to imagine that's kind of how that whole rosin thing started. Don't you?
Yeah.
Two guys fucking around out in the garage.
Oh, for sure. What that's actually, I mean, it started with the hair crimper, and it's probably same thing. 2 guys out in the garage, fucking, I got a clamp over there.
Yeah.
Give me that clamp. But I don't know. That had to have been one good sesh right there.
Oh, it had to.
It just led to a better sesh.
And better and on from there.
I'm still, I appreciate it all. I won't say no to about any form of cannabis. The wags, the shatter, rosin, bubble hash, flower. I enjoyed it all. I really do. But I can't really see myself ever just outright shaking, smoking the joint myself. I do enjoy the dabs, but there's just something ceremonial about sitting there and smoking that joint.
I don't smoke a lot of joints. I mean, I've been smoking on and off, let's say, for the last 20 years. I can't roll a joint if I fucking had to. No, not happening. Not without a roller, anyways. So, but I can't hand roll shit. So I normally just use a bong or a pipe.
I think I can roll a joint. I've always rolled a chunky joint, which I figure burns slower. and I've always took a lot of heat for, look at that chunky fucking joint. Ew. And but they burn. And at one point, I don't know if it was the papers or what, man, but I would roll them, but they were just coming apart. And then for some reason, I started using a roller, and I noticed that as long as it was even the same paper, that as long as I used them in a roller, I could still hand roll. It would stay together. Not once would they ever come apart. Same paper and everything, but I used the same paper and fucking hand roll it. And I don't know what it is, but that thing will come apart almost every damn time. I mean, think how could you fuck that up? Seriously. I mean, what? It's the same lick, the same throwing it down on the paper. What am I doing wrong? I don't know, but
I don't know. I'm the same way.
Avoid it.
Well, I'm the same way. It's like I've had many people just say, just sit down with a pack of zigzags, break up just an ounce of pot, and just by the time you get to the done, you'll know how to roll a joint. I've done that 4 or 5 times. All I get is a bunch of crumpled up papers, some really fucking stick figure looking pencil fucking joints that you're just like, okay, this is just more paper than anything in there. So it's just like, fuck it. Not gonna waste 45 minutes trying to roll something up when by that time there I could have smoked it all through a ball.
I've tried everything too. Seriously. And to remedy that, I've heard everything from you licking it too much, motherfucker. Don't be licking it so much to like barely licking it. I've heard wet the back of the paper. You know what I mean? Just moisten it from the back and that will help. Nothing helped. Roller fixed it. The only thing I didn't like about the roller was the roller can fucking eat a sack up, man.
Fucking right.
Definitely.
It's like, oh yeah, we're rolling the big ones.
And again, there's something about my demeanor to when I start something, I like to finish it. So even though I'm rolling that fucking bigger joint, it's still like I'm finishing that motherfucker. Might be a little bit bigger, but I'm still putting it down. So which doesn't help it.
How many rollers have you broke? Just trying to flip it over top of what you put in there.
A ton of rollers.
So you haven't learned either that, okay, that's probably too much. There's no such thing.
No such thing. I've learned a few tricks though. I mean, how to like sneak in hash in there and perfectly roll hash, and how to like. Oh, I was doing this the other day too. I would put some of that concentrate in here, right? And because I smeared the top of the paper with fucking the concentrate, so you can't get that all over your roller, right? So what I did was I hold the paper taut until I've got it just about right where I can, that flip, that point. And what I do is I'll back out one side so it's like cocked, and it leaves that big old gap there, and I just kind of fucking hold it tight, and I just give it one spin with it not seated right, and it gives it enough space to flip by real quick without getting all over the belt with all the gum on there, so I can roll nice. That's another thing too. I think when people rub it all over the outside, I'm like, man, what a waste.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be in the paper. You got to suck it through.
It's everywhere.
I don't know. I do love some drugs. So what is your favorite? I guess you kind of said gas. Has it always been gas?
Yeah, I like that. Like I said, I started smoking back in the '90s. So that's the weed I like. I like that flavor, that pine, like you guys like. That gas. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And I found it a couple times. Been pretty say lucky in my life, we'll say. So been married, divorced, and remarried, but both times, my father-in-laws were huge stoners. So it's like it was perfect. And my current one, he's the one that he actually got me into growing. So we can go down that road now. So he, uh, he was growing for years. He had his card and everything. But he's like, he can only grow for himself. He can't caregiver under it because of all the stuff he had in his past and everything. But good old guy. And just when me and my wife met and I started smoking his stuff, that was the last time I went anywhere else for weed. I had no other reason to. He had the best stuff there was, still the best stuff I've smoked, and I'm trying to bring something over and say, here, this is better than yours. I hope. I haven't done it yet. So, but I've got some stuff in the grow box. We'll show you some stuff that he doesn't know about, some cuts that I didn't tell him I got, that I know he wouldn't be able to get. Thanks to all you guys here. That's for sure. With this community, that's definitely helped out. So, but he's helped me out a lot. I mean, my first grow was this year. Started back for Christmas. Got a bunch of stuff for Christmas presents. Got a new tent, got a 2x4 tent, got the light, got everything else, and got gallstones. Got put in the hospital for 2 weeks. My father-in-law was taking care of my clones, which was awesome. And so yeah, that's how my first grow started. Right off, come home and was able to at least start off, on bed rest, taking care of some plants. So so I got push back a little bit, but it all turned out pretty good. It was some sort of cookie strain. I can tell you it. According to my wife, it smelled like absolute fucking shit. Real garlicky, real. I mean, it smelled bad, but it was good. I loved it. It was good shit. But yeah, it was like real garlicky. I think I want to. He just said it was some sort of cookie strain. It was probably like a garlic cookie or something, or just something that it was definitely that flavor, pepper, garlic. I mean, if I took a couple good big bong rips out of it, my mouth would almost go numb from the from like that real spicy flavor. So I like that. I did. The effect was perfect. My reason for smoking, recreationally, of course, but the other reason is my mid 20s. I put my back out, and what I'd found out then was that wasn't the time I put my back out. That was the time that I had to go see the doctor about putting my back out because it wouldn't go back in. I've got basically my whole lower back is gone. I've got like maybe one and a half discs in there. Pretty much everything else is degenerated, squished out, pretty much gone. But for some reason, I'm not gonna lie, it's been about 6-7 years since I had an MRI, and the last doctor said, "I don't know how you're walking." It's like, I don't know, I just got a high tolerance of pain, I guess. And but with all that said, he started getting on. Here's some. See, flavor of the month back then was Vicodin. So I was taking 5, 6, 7,000 milligram Vicodin a day, and all that was doing was just numbing the pain. It wasn't taking care of anything. But my mom had back pain too. She had back problems too, and I got more going into it, more looking into it. It was degenerative disc disease. In my 20s, S1 to L, was it 1, 2, 3, 5? Was that the first one there was gone at in my mid 20s, and like I said, I haven't had no car accidents or anything. This is just, but I will say this: I was in my 20s. I was almost 400 pounds. So when you met me, I wasn't 400 pounds when you met me. So
No.
I was a big fat dude. So big fat dude. So that's really what was screwing my back up. So, and it got to, back in my 30s, it got to the point where some days I couldn't move, couldn't get out of bed. I'd get spasms in my back that take me down to my knees. So I started smoking more cannabis, and when I had access to it, I'd have it. It would definitely take away the pain. It definitely got me through the day. Because I was 30 years old. I was going to a back specialist. I was going to all these doctors and stuff, and I was getting cortisone injections in the back, and those worked great. They worked for 6 months. But still, not really the best thing to happen. You know, you didn't, you know, sometimes it, you know, they nick the nerve or something and you leave in more pain than you came in there with. But, you know, at the end of the day, you go home, smoke a couple joints, relax. A few hours later, pain go away, you'd be good for 3, 4 months. You know, it just killed all the nerves. You know, but after years of that, that just got old. You know, and it got to where, you know, with all the laws and everything changing with the narcotics and stuff, it's just like, oh, your back hurts. Well, here's 10 Vicodin. They're 300 milligram. Hope that works for you. That's all you can get for the next month. You know, so it's like, well, you had to find something else. You know, I mean, I guess you can look at it that way. I had a doctor that wasn't just pushing pills on me. You know, maybe it's because he was a family friend as well. You know, and I had my mom at the same time. You know, so she was kind of kicking me in the ass, and she was the one that kind of said, hey, you know, why don't you go smoke a joint? You know, it works for my back pain too. So, you know, so we got into that and everything, and you know, just kind of went from there. So, you know, now the back, you know, I had me and the wife, going on 3 years now. So 5 years ago, I couldn't get out of bed. Legs were numb. You know, it wasn't that. You know, the back was out. Back went out. Just it just goes when I was going in and out that time. I was pushing 390 to 395 pounds, the highest weight I'd ever been in my entire life. I was in my mid 30s, and you know, and the funny thing was, I was a healthy fat dude. Cholesterol, fine. I wasn't on insulin. I never, you know, I'd quit drinking soda years before that. Mine was really, I think it was it was a good 10, 15 solid years of drinking a couple cases a day, every other day, you know, going to the bar after work every day, drinking till close every day. You know, I never really ate a lot. I ate bad food. I mean, I ate takeout every day and everything like that. You know, I'd eat stuff like that. I'd overeat, you know, but as far as having like other health problems other than being fat, like I didn't have diabetes, didn't have any of that. You know, the doctor basically said, you're a healthy fat dude, but at the end of the day, being fat's going to kill you. You know, and it's destroying your body, it's destroying your back. You can't move around. So one day woke up, couldn't move. You know, I had to I get the wife help me. You know, get me up, get me going. You know, it took a good half hour, 45 minutes just to get out of bed. And you know, so once I got going, you know, got to the doctor, we got looking, started talking about them. You know, got on some medicine to start losing some weight. You know, and I dropped probably 50 pounds in 6 months, you know, and started feeling a little bit better, you know, but still it's like everyone's like, well, diet and exercise. It's easy to say when you're, you know, I mean, when you're like your size, Eagle, or even my size now, but when you're 400 pounds, exercise is getting up and doing things throughout the day just to survive and then getting back home from work. That's exercise. That was all I could do through the day. So got talking to some friends, and come to find out, my sister had weight loss surgery. Didn't really tell anybody. She didn't really want anybody to know. So I got talking to her about it, and went and had that done. Me and the wife had it done, and I dropped. That was 3 years ago now, and yeah, 3 years ago. And I started that one that was about 350, 355, and I'm down to I flow between 225 and 235 now. So I was in a size 50 pants, and I'm in a size 35 now. 5X large shirts, extra large shirts now, large shirts, talls. So I'm smaller than I am now than I was in high school. In high school, I graduated, I was like 275. You know, wasn't a football player either. I was just a big fat dude. So my mom was a good cook. You know, I came from a farmer's family. You know, you showed up to grandma's. You know, you want some lunch? Sure. It wasn't just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean, it was here's a sandwich, here's the side, here's some tea, here's this, we got cookies or pie for dessert. I mean, that was my family. I mean, that's how you grew up. I mean, it was a farmer's family. You know, we ate good meat, potatoes. That's how you ate. You know, and it just over the years it just did it to me. So, you know, but now I'm back. You know, I looked at it as a reset and stuff, but it came as a price, I think. And it's something that I'm hoping maybe people will reach out to me afterwards if they've had. What I had done is I had the gastric sleeve done, where they go in and take your stomach, and now mine's the size of a banana, basically. So I can still eat pretty much anything I want. I just can only eat very little amounts of it. You know, I got about 8 ounces, basically. Anything more than that, and it'll come back up. So, you know, if I eat too much, bread sucks. Can't eat a lot of bread anymore because it expands. So, some stuff I had to give up. Gave up alcohol. Um, Alcohol's funny, right? Because right now, what happens is by doing that with my stomach, what the part of the stomach that they cut out of you is the part that has all of the receptors for telling you that you're hungry and you're full. It has a lot of the receptors that has a lot of the extra enzymes in it that breaks down all the food and helps you metabolize food. And so what happens is when you drink, you get ripped. Like you drink like a half a beer, I'm a cheap date. Half hour later, I'm stone sober. Take a couple more, I drink another half a beer. 45 minutes, an hour later, I'm stone sober again. All right, that's a waste of fucking time drinking warm beer. All right, so smoke pot all fucking day. So we just gave up alcohol. I'll have a shot here and there every now and again, have a beer every now and again with my dad or something. You know, it's no big deal. You know, but to drink like I used to, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time and money. Really, is what it is. You know, I mean, when I was drinking, you know, I got to where I wasn't drinking. You know, I was drinking like Guinness. I was drinking Killian. I was drinking those hard, heavy lagers, those reds, those dark ales. That's what I was drinking. When I say I was drinking, a 12 pack, you know, drinking 15, 16 beers, drinking 4 or 5 pitchers at the bar. I wasn't drinking Busch Light, Coors Light, Bud Light. I was drinking Guinness, Killian, those heavy lagers. So, you know, it's what I really enjoyed drinking. And then, you know, so when I quit drinking, okay, I quit drinking, not a big deal. You know, so I just started smoking more, big deal. But what I found out with this surgery was it fucked up my tolerance. It fucked up my metabolism. Um, let's see here. Um, like smoking, I can smoke a ton now, and I don't seem to have a ceiling anymore. And I think that's really why um, looking for something. I'm just keep looking and looking, and it seemed like that gas strain. The couple of gas strains I've had have been the ones that helped me reach that ceiling faster, or reach that faster. So, you know that, or I'll be honest, maybe I'm just not growing good pot. I am not gonna lie. It's my first couple grows. Might not have been the best shit. You know, I'll go to the dispo, pick a couple pre rolls up. My parents live up in Everett. You know, so I'll hit the local one up there. You know, just a little different flavor. You know, while we're up there. You know, so you get some of those, you know, higher THC ones, you know, some of the plus 20s and stuff. And yeah, they do it. They do it pretty well, you know, but you get some mid 15s to do it as well, too. So I had an Oreo cookie here the other day that I picked up. They had like a 2-pack for $10 a guy, you know, for a first timer there. And 2 half grammers for $10. Like, $10, I take 2 pre rolls. And, you know, they were like 15%. Real good, though. I liked it. And, you know, and yeah, it did the trick, you know, knocked me out for a few hours. So, you know, that was kind of, you know, it was a good bedtime. Didn't want the soaring, but just wanted something that just, you know, after about a half hour, 45 minutes, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna go lay down and just went to sleep. You know, and it didn't take, you know, 4 or 5 bowls or 4 or 5 joints to do that. You know, that's what I'm looking for. That's a problem I'm having. Edibles are a problem now too. Like I told you before, my first experience, yeah, I don't think that'd be a problem right now. So, you know, prime example, you probably had a couple of Spartan cookies before, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
They're pretty good.
So, yeah. So this summer, you know, I meet up with those guys. You know, meet all the guys. Great group of guys, man. Those guys are great. You know, Rose Show. That's how I met all you guys. You know, Spartan, Abolished, Red, Skilbo. I'm probably leaving a few out. Terra. You know, all those guys. We did that float down there. You know, so you know, got into a few of those Spartan cookies and stuff. You know, so about a week later, go down to my buddy's house. You know, we set him up growing, and we're bullshitting about it and stuff. And he goes, "Well, how many?" You know, it's like, I was like fucking ripped when I fucking left, man. Drove all the way home from Ann Arbor, man. I just like, I was fucked. You I got home. It's just like, cool, I'm home. And, he's like, well, what'd you eat? It's like, I had like 2 of those Spartan cookies, had a couple of the abolished turp teas, smoked a couple joints. Maybe I had 3 Spartan cookies. I don't know. And he goes, well, what are the Spartan cookies? I said, I don't know. He tells me they're like 150. He goes, you can do math, can't you? It's like, yeah, so I was probably around, I think Bali said those turp teas were probably around 75, 100, he thought. So probably somewhere around the 500 range that that day. And was feeling pretty good that day. I'm not going to lie. I woke up the next day feeling pretty good. Wasn't really droggy or anything. I mean, I was fucking ripped that day. I ain't going to lie about that, and stuff. But it just seems that, that's a pretty high amount of fucking edibles. And anymore, we'll go in and I picked up some, I got some sitting here, some Detroit Fudge. You had some of this stuff yet?
Oh, that's good stuff.
That's good shit right here. Yeah, so I'll eat one of those. I'll have to eat both of those before. I'm not going to say it's. If I eat one, I'm not going to say I don't. It doesn't affect me. It probably does. But if you want that body feeling that you get from an edible, it'll take both of those. We got some gummies. My wife, exact opposite. I'll make edibles here. I'll eat like 5 or 6 of my cookies, about the same size as a Spartan cookie. So we're talking about that big. I'll eat 4 or 5 of those throughout the day. And I'll never actually get a buzz. But I'll get a nothing will hurt. My wife eats half of one of those. Half hour later, I'm going to bed. See ya. And that's it. I tell her, well, just as you eat more, your dosage should go up. Hers has never went up. She's just a serious lightweight. Always has been. And, so the surgery for her kind of went like the opposite direction. Because prior to surgery, I'd eat those edibles that like my father-in-law would make, and one of those would like do me in. But now I'd eat the same thing, and I'd have to eat 2 or 3 of them. So.
Well, there's variables there, I think, too.
There's definitely some.
For one thing, though, I don't know. I'd have to wonder if there were still some pharmaceuticals on the other end before pre-surgery that kind of aided, a little bit on that side to where you felt it a little bit better. Because this is the theory I have on edibles. Because some people say they don't feel them or they don't work as well on me or whatever. And, I just think that, as you ingest them, your body's actually dictating what road, what chain, the what next phase of the molecule your body's going to have. Say, if you've got an incredible amount of pain, I think as it passes through your system, your brain's automatically says, I need a different molecule of THC to go to the pain aspect of the body versus being turned into something else like a Delta 9 to where it's more psychoactive in your mind. I think your body automatically goes, okay, I need this much for pain. And then if there's anything left, then you can feel the effects. But I think your body dictates that as you take it in. So that could be one reason why right there, the same cookies on you with somebody with a lot of back pain, doesn't affect you nearly as much to where when your wife, who obviously probably doesn't have a bad back, half a cookies, like it all goes psychoactive, it's
True.
all fucking
true. Let's be perfectly honest here too. It could come out the same way. You can look at it like a tolerance, like a pain tolerance. Like I told you guys, basically from my S1 to my L5, pretty much all my discs in there are pretty well shot, squished out, and everything like that. But I'm not sitting here in pain. And when I say my back hurts, it's a dull, like a knife pain. Like it's just really, really stiff. and I want to stretch it out and everything is what it is. And sometimes it'll like kind of radiate down my leg a little bit here and there. But when you go to the doctor and they say, rate that pain and stuff, I'd put that at probably about like 1 or a 2 because I deal with it every day. Every single day, that's what my pain is. Now, could that be this? If you already say take that pain and put it in another person who's never felt the amount of pain that I've been feeling now for the last 20 years every day and grown accustomed to, what kind of debilitating feeling would they be in right off the bat? Would they be the same way I was 20 years ago? Or would there be something that they could take? I don't know. So, and maybe it's the same way, like you said, with the edibles and stuff, where it's taking so much to just take that pain away to where my brain says, hey, that just doesn't even hurt anymore. That, like you said, well, there's nothing left, but you know what? I did my job. You don't hurt anymore. You can do what you need to do. Everybody's happy. So
I would have to wonder how many nerve endings that you've actually, you must have just have a few strong ones kicking. That's why, you know what I mean? It's there, but it's not as intense. I think it's, you've just killed a lot of nerve endings in each one of them spots. That's why it's there, but not necessarily. It's probably a shatter. It sucks, man. Back pain is terrible to deal with, and it's one of them things, like you said, you don't know, man. You just can wake up with that shit, just fucking out of nowhere. Next night, going to bed, feel just fine. Fucking sleep wrong in a slump. Fucking loved one put a fucking knee up, just there laid on you a little bit. Like, oh fuck, I'm crippled today. Damn, beer, because you put your leg up me.
I talk to my doctor, and it's just like I'm like, we're trying to figure out what I did, and I'm like, well, doc, I don't even know what I did. I don't remember doing anything. And he goes, people have thrown their back out taking a shit on the toilet. All right, he goes, it just happens. He goes, and chances are you can't say when you did it. He goes, the problem is, it's usually an accumulation over time, and then it just finally breaks. So unless it's like a catastrophic event, like a car accident or a fall or something like that, he says it's just the way it is. But like I said, I was in my late 20s, early 30s. You're going to all these specialists and stuff, and luckily I had all of them were looking at me like, nah, I'm not operating on you. And it's like, well, is there anything? And it's like, no, dude, you can walk, and you're not shitting or pissing yourself, and you can still get around. He said, because you're 30. He said, the minute anybody goes in there and does anything, it's going downhill from there. Period. End of discussion. And if you find a doctor that wants to cut you open, I suggest you run, because you're too young. He said, unless you're debilitating in a wheelchair, you can't move. He goes, there's no reason for someone your age. And, at the time I was 300 plus, I'd always floated between 300, 350 for most of my life. And then I just started creeping up. And then, like he said, you got to lose weight. He said, you lose weight, that's going to fix so much. He said, because even if I went in and did surgery, if you don't lose weight, it's not going to fix the problem. And it's not going to make recovery any easier. So it was always, I had to get the weight off first. So, but now the weight's off, the back hurts less, that's for sure. I get around a lot more. We started kayaking, that's, you kind of see him back there. So, we kayak, we bike, we walk, we do a whole bunch of shit now. So a lot of shit that I couldn't do as a fat guy, that's for sure. So, I went to Cedar Point one year. Couldn't sit in anything other than walk around.
Sucks.
Yeah. Sober. Well, all your friends wrote everything, because they thought it was funny.
No, that's not fun.
Well, we had a good time.
I'm super stoked to hear that, you've been able to, beat these obstacles, because they are obstacles, brother, man. I have had friends and family that have been down that Vicodin road, and I tell you what, the recipe of pharmaceuticals. And you know what I'm even more thankful for? That, you said it was a friend, but I'm glad to hear that you had somebody, a friend, doctor, whatever, that slowed the process.
Yeah, the doctor.
Man, Vicodin and alcohol, it was a fucking terrible recipe, and like you said, it's a cover. That's all it does, man. It just masks that area. It makes you think you're all right, when reality is you're doing more damage to yourself, not only to that location, but your liver. You have to
Oh yeah.
intake more and more and more. That shit's terrible on your liver.
Oh
And
yeah.
then you have the pain of the fucking. And this is the trap here. Is you feel like some days, like, you're okay, yeah, I'm doing good. You got some consecutive good days, and then you decide not to take your medicine, and then you have the medicine pain that I think sometimes you mistake for the injury pain, or just having a bad day. So what do? You take more medicine. Oh, pain's gone. I must not be ready to get off it. So you continue the cycle of not thinking, or putting the pain from the getting off the medicine, because the medicine causes a lot of pain in itself, and it's a terrible trap, man. I'm
Oh,
stoked. I think pulling a lot of that out had a lot of key to your success as well. So hats off to you, brother, for being able to get that weeded out of your life, man, for real.
well, with that, and then one of the other things too was, like I said, growing up, my mom was always on them because of her back. I mean, she worked, she took a back injury at work. She worked for the state. She worked for the state home, and she got took a folding chair to the back and broke her back. You know, that's back in the '80s. So that's what the options were. So but I mean, it's lucky enough. My mom was smart enough to know what she was taking and know that, yeah, I know it's easy enough to abuse, and I don't want to do that. She didn't like taking them. I didn't like taking them. I didn't like the way I felt taking them. I was an asshole. I don't know if you noticed that about it. I mean, it just like, if even though you didn't hurt, you were still that, when you're in pain, you get angry, you get frustrated, and you get mad. It's just the way it is. I mean, anybody says they're not, they're full of shit. I'm sorry. You know, that part of it seemed to never go away. You were still that, even though the pain was gone, you were still an asshole. So I just didn't like taking them. And the doctor would bounce you around because, you take Vicodin for 6-7 months a year. And it's like, well, this isn't, doc, we're up to 1,200-1,500 milligrams. This isn't working. I'm not taking this much. We got to try something else. Let's just switch it up. Oxycontin came out, took that once, took that back to the doctor. Said, don't ever fucking prescribe that to me again. I don't even know what the fuck's in that. I don't want to feel like that ever again. Never. And it was just back to Vicodin and then smoking dope. Yeah. So I mean, that is one thing I can say, is that I never enjoyed taking pain pills. I took them because I had to. I didn't like the effects they gave me. I didn't like how I felt taking them. I didn't like that. So, so I was doing everything I could do to get off of them, for sure.
So as far as current pain management, have you ever tried the full spectrum capsules or anything like that? Basically the RSO. You say
Oh,
tomato, I say tomato, whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I've tried a little bit here and there. My father-in-law, um, he makes it, and then he'll put it in like some salves and some rubs, and I use that. And actually picked some stuff up here from that was the last time I went. I picked up some medicated salve, like some 750 milligram THC, 200 CBD, and that stuff works fucking great. Put it on, a couple minutes later, starts getting a little tingly. About 10, 15, 20 minutes later, pain's gone. So wife uses it for carpal tunnel and stuff. So, good sized jar lasts, oh, I don't know, last month. Well, when we meet up in Clio, whatever the last Clio cup was, that's
September.
yeah. So I just went through a jar of that. So, using it just about every day between two people. So it's got a little stronger stuff this time, just because it works a little better for me, works good for her. So stuff like that works good. The topicals do work well. As far as the RSO and stuff, it just not that I haven't tried it. I've tried it and used it and don't mind it. I just don't have a lot of access to it. So, but we'll see. I'll start growing, get some more.
Yeah, that's one of those things. As you're a grower, though, you will have like trim and stuff like that. Plenty of extras that you could make your own. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
One of the beauties of growing your own, for sure.
I mean, that's kind of what it is. It's just like it's like you got great big aspirations of everything you want to do, and then reality sets in. It's like, okay, we'll just start out here and we'll go. So I think we'll just go with let's get through a few grows and get some good pot growing first, and then we'll worry about making it into something.
Luckily, you've already fell into a good community with lots of advice and lots of ways that can help you do things with them after
Oh yeah,
overages, if you will. I mean, as far as pain, you got the Skillbo, and Skillbo, he's got the tincture rollers there that work very well for pain. And you've got a lot of other friends that make hashes and oils and all kinds of stuff. So, as you progress, we're community's right there to help you, make oils and tinctures and all that other stuff. So,
well, hash is definitely on the table. Hash is probably going to be the next venture. It's the easiest one. It's the easiest and cheapest for sure. So,
I love my bubble hash too, man.
I like your bubble hash too, man. I like your bubble hash too. That was some good shit.
I'm glad you enjoyed, man. I'm glad you enjoyed. It's that time again. I can't. Yeah, make some. But man, it's like you said. That's a very easy process too, man. And out of your pretty much waste. I mean, when you're either gonna hopefully make butter out of it or whatever.
Oh yeah, butter.
I watched a lot of growers throwing that shit away. I'd start collecting shake before I was even necessarily growing. I was making hash, going, you're stupid. What are you guys throwing this stuff away for? You know what I mean? It's just you can make hash. So yeah,
you got to turn it into something. So yeah, I got one of those magic butter machines. So currently that's what it's going for. So I just made up a couple pounds of butter.
You have made gummies and stuff. That's what I've heard. That's what I heard, right?
Yeah, I made some gummies. I made butter the first time with the machine. Made a bunch of cookies and stuff. Everybody liked those. And this next time through, I made coconut oil because it's like I figured, well, I want to make some gummies. Want to maybe make some make some salve with it. Some rubs with it and stuff. And so we made some gummies. Wife does not like the taste of coconut oil. So
no,
not really. So I don't mind it. I put almost a tablespoon in my coffee every morning, so I don't mind that. And but she just can't get past the taste of it. So which was fine. I didn't have that much of it, so hey, we went back to making butter. I made 2 pounds of butter this over the weekend. So we're back to that. Father-in-law gave me a mason jar. He took all of his sugar leaf and everything and shoved it in his food processor and ground it up into powder. And it's like, okay, all right. He goes, can you turn this into butter? It's like, I think so. Yeah, we'll try it. Yeah, it works. So it just if you have a magic butter machine and you do that, don't put it in your magic butter machine because you get really, really grainy butter. Because it's only a 190 micron bag, so everything goes through. So might be a little more potent. Not going to worry about that. I mean, it's super green butter, man. It's green this time.
That's without a doubt going to be. That's going to be close to your. That's going to be close to your first brownie experience, I would think. For real.
Well, they're
Yeah.
not. I mean, the wife likes them. They're good for her. She eats about half a cookie and she's good. The dosage is good for her. And she ate one of the gummies tonight, and they're 25 milligrams a piece, so 4 pieces for 100. And she says, well, they're a little bit stronger than the cookie. It's like, okay, so I'm good with that. So I think that's pretty good. I'm the only one that eats a bunch of them during the day. Every person I give them to, one, and they're usually good. So I haven't had anybody complain about them. So.
Yeah, I like my edibles too. I definitely like my edibles. I wish I could eat them more, or I did eat them more, but I do. I like them.
I do remember the story of you talking about the first time you made cookies, though. I did the same thing, not realizing it either. You start eating that cookie dough. Then you pull that first tray out and you're like, wow, these smell like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it can happen. In fact, I suggest next time you make some cookies, put a nice mix in there because you can get the like little mint chips. So, go like a
Oh, yeah.
50-50 chocolate, mint, and them things will taste like the Thin Mint cookies, the Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies. That was
That's the
the part of
problem.
the air. Right? Yeah, that
Fucking
there's
Thin
something
Mints, man.
about the between chocolate and that mint mask that cannabis taste 100%, and it's like, oh man, yeah,
Oh, yeah. And with
there's
Christmas
you.
coming around, you can get all that mint right now, those peppermint candy canes and all that stuff. I'm going to have to get some of that. Get some dark chocolate. Because I just buy like the pre-bag mix of cookie dough stuff that you just have to add an egg and butter and water and call it a day. I don't make that shit from scratch anymore. So I'll leave that for my
Well,
mom.
even the premix, you can still like chuck
Oh,
in a little bit of extra mint chips
oh
or
yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I made some
But
oatmeal cookies,
oh,
threw in some butterscotch chips because I love those. I made some Rice Krispie treats the first time I made butter, and took those up to my mom because you know I grow for my mom. It's me and my mom, so I gotta get her a card yet. But I grow for her too, so I don't see any reason. I've pinched enough out of her sacks that I probably owe her way more than I'll grow between now and the time that she's gone. So we'll call it fair at that point. But I took her up a good sized tray of Rice Krispie treats, and she was happy for those for the weekend. So she was able to. She has a hard time sleeping with her back and everything, for as much as hers is out and all of her other health problems. So she said she was able to actually get a good solid 5-6 hours of sleep. So, so I left her with some butter, and she made her own brownies, her own stuff, and yeah, she got a lesson too.
this time of year too, another thing I like to make, and it's that fudge. God, medicated fudge is so good. So you buy those like little $5 kits from Walmart or wherever. You know what I mean? Just throw your medicated butter in there with the fudge, and there you
Well,
go. You've got pretty much what you're buying there.
I'll give you my mom's recipe for fudge. It's super simple. It's 3 ingredients: butter, sugar, and cocoa. That's it. A pound of medicated butter, a pound of, like, I think it's like a cup of, like 2 or 3 cups of sugar, and then the cocoa. You just bring that up, boil it to a sheen, put it in a tray, and it's hard fudge. Not this soft fudge, it's hard fudge. Yeah. We would have Christmas and we would do like the white elephant auctions. My mom would bring a tin of that and we would donate the money to like the local charities or something like that. That tin would get 50, $60 out of our family in arguments over who gets it. It's that good. And the worst thing, this is the worst thing, guys. If it doesn't set up, You have ice cream topping. You just put it on your vanilla ice cream.
Oh, either way. I hard or soft fudge, either one I prefer. But it's so good, so good.
Oh, it is. I love fudge.
It's one of those things though. I like to make it all my stuff strong too. All my edibles are like super strong. They're like take at your own risk, basically. But
that's how I like mine.
But chocolates like that, man, they're easy to get in deep with, man.
So that's like a 1x1 chunk. So good though.
Them guys have a great sense of humor over there at the Detroit Fudge Packing Fun Company there. I forget one time, man, they posted something and they took it all a good stride too. I think it was, I can't remember. They had something wrong with their shipping or their boxes, and I made a joke to them, pretty much, you're going to be packing fudge over time or whatever. And they responded, ha ha ha, basically. They thought it was funny, but they had good sense of humor over there, people over there at Detroit Fudge Company. Good stuff, man. I buy some every time I can find it.
Have you had their candy bars?
No, I have not had the candy bars.
Yeah, I guess those are good too. Yeah, the fudge. If you guys haven't had the fudge and you've had Mackinac Island fudge, that's exactly what it tastes like. It tastes just like Mackinac Island fudge.
When it comes to the candy bars, the ones I like are the Midnight Roots bars. Man, they make some good chocolate, the Midnight Roots people. You ever see them at an event or whatever? You can buy, there's a couple products you can get from them, and they're the, like a pre-rolled Canagar, or you can buy like a hollow shell, of the wrap that you can stuff your own Canagar, or they got the chocolates. But man, that's one thing that they really take serious is that chocolate. I interviewed him one time, and I was like, man, I was like, come on, will you give me like a coffee chocolate bar or something? You know what I mean? I would be totally down for that. And he's like, man, it's been on the board for quite a while, so you may see that at some point. And chocolate and coffee go hand in hand.
I'll have to. I think that one I went to have those, and I'll be honest, I might do some Black Friday shopping. The one shop here in town is like 50% off all glass.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. They have Wild Bills.
Yeah, so it's like, might have to go check it out and pick up something. Might get a ring or something. So.
I need to. I would replace the one I had too. It was nice. Friday would probably be the day to do it too. We'll see.
That's what we're thinking. Yeah. So, something like that, or something.
Hopefully you do.
Yeah, just something, man, or a nectar collector or something, or. But I know a lot of the dispos are having some Black Friday sales.
It seems a little weird, doesn't it?
It fucking does, don't it? It's like, did you get Black Friday shopping done? Oh yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Could you imagine that, like back in the day, from your guy? Yeah. Just calling everybody. Just want to let you know, Friday, I'm in a good mood. Everything's going to be half off if you want to stop by. Little thank you for, your business for around the year.
Yeah, no shit.
That would be.
Yeah, so I might take a run over there and check those out. So they had yeah, but pick up something. I'm gonna have to get some concentrates, ain't I? I think they had some.
Did you? How did you like the? Did you smoke the Fagroli's stuff you had there? That lime
Yeah,
skunk.
yeah. I just topped a bunch. I just topped a bunch of bowls with it, and yeah, it was. Yeah, that flavor profile lime I do like the citrusy. I do like the lime, and but yeah, that lime skunk, man, that was tasty, and that was good stuff right there. But then I was just topping a bowl. I can't imagine doing a straight dab on it. So
that was a fucking awesome day. That was
oh,
an
well,
awesome
too.
day, man, for hanging.
Yeah, that was great. Met Chicha there, so that was cool. So met you guys,
Steez Nugs,
the Steez.
Modern Genetics. Heck, there was a ton of us together. Nutrient
Oh, yeah.
Shootouts, Naughty Nicky. Who else we had there, man? So many people. It was a well-needed big break. We had
Farmer was there. Shit, what was his name? Him and his boy.
Rascal Farmer.
Rascal Farmer and his boy.
Son.
Smiley.
Yeah, I can't forget Smiley. And who else was
Chris
there?
and Andrea
we had,
from Bad Bunny.
Yep. CJ Apple was there, I believe, later at some point in the day.
Or was he there?
Red Eye
The day before? I think they were the day before. No, Red Eye was there after. No, he got there when I was there before I left. So yeah, that was a long ride home.
Man,
too.
I needed that break. That was a much well needed COVID break right there. It was a good day.
Yeah, that was a good day. That was a good day.
So was like one of your first events, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the very first event. You know, it was an event enough to where it's like telling the wife, like, yeah, we gotta get you your card so you can go to these two. These are kind of cool. You know, even if you don't just stay there and hang out with everybody, but just checking out all the vendors and stuff. You know, that's what I told her. You know, I said it's just, I don't know. I like those swap meet types of shit. Always have. You know, so I like going around and checking everybody's stuff out, see what they got. And just seeing what's out there. You know, maybe you might show up there and I'm sure the guy that showed up there the first time with some sort of rosin or stuff, everybody's like, "What's that?" So you're going to show up to one of those, and someone's going to have the first of something there. You're going to have something that you haven't seen before or thought of before that you might look at and go, "Hey, yeah, that's a good idea. I might try that." Or anything
Tacos
else.
that day. Medicated tacos. I had never had them until that day.
I just can't get over the.
Then we were butted up against Double D Organics there, and they do edibles and incredible edibles. I know they also do. They work with High Times for like some of these. You pay, I think it's, I don't know amount, but you go and you pay for the dinner there, and every course of the dinner, appetizer, yeah, well, it's edible, or it has cannabis in it, every bit phase of it. Then you can hang out after the dinner and like smoke and mingle and stuff. But they'd help out there in the amazing meals. They had medicated meatballs and stuff like that. It smelled so good. Every time she opened up that thing, it was like wafting over at us.
I know. I was
me all day.
Starving. I was starving. And it's like, I'm going to go over there, and Smiley's like, "Don't eat the meatballs. Don't eat the meatballs. They're awesome, but don't eat them." Everything's medicated. That was a problem. You got there, and there wasn't any food that wasn't medicated. And that kind of was the problem.
Oh, let me tell you about this is funny. I went to One Cup, and it was they had an edible. Everything was on the outside of the track there at Clio. Probably haven't been to the event. Hopefully, maybe you've been to Auto City or whatever. But they had everything set up around the outside of the track. All the vendors like you've seen in Clio there. And then in the center of the track there was Edible Village. And so, yeah, everywhere you wandered in Edible Village that day, they were like, "Hey, you want some samples? Samples?" And man, I wandered through there one day that day and got all fucked up, man. I ate every sample that came my way. And then there was shit that I was like, man, that was good. You know what I mean? I got to go back and get some of that shit. And wandered around Edible Village for like, it felt like 3 hours trying to find that in particular vendor. Never could find him. Never found him. Never found him. Went back day two, first stepping into fucking Edible Village. It was like, oh, right there. I'm sober now. I didn't.
First thing I ate. That's why I couldn't fucking find them.
Yeah, I think it was. I was just that stoned from eating edibles. I just kind of got so high where it just got kind of circusy. You know what I mean? Everything looked the same. Everybody was kind of
just kind of walking around like, yeah, okay, yep,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I've been there before, but I haven't been there for any of the events or anything. So I just got my card. I don't know why it took so long to get it. I just got it. So, and it was really funny because we got up to the event up there, and I pull in, see Chicha pull in, so I meet up with her, and before all you guys got there, and we go in the tent. Her card's expired by like a month. Like, well, doctor's inside. Like, all right. So I'm telling her about this crazy fucking doctor that I went to, and how mine went and everything like that. And she's like, okay. We walk in. I'm like, that's the dude. Have fun. and she got all done and she goes, you're right. He's different. So, but yeah, it was funny. I just hung out in the store. I got the fan that I needed for my box, which was really one of the reasons I went. So, it was one of the reasons I told my wife, I was like, I got like a 50% off deal. I am saving money. So.
That's funny. That's funny. They're saving money. I've never thought about it like using that excuse to go get some smoke and shit. We gotta go get some. We're actually saving money. Think about it that way. We can double up.
Yep. I brought her back a brownie and I brought her back some medicated rub for her and stuff. So she was happy.
Things have came such a long way from, and seemingly, it seems like it's a blink of an eye since, I don't know, time's been going by pretty fast lately. But man, I remember the first time I went to the dispensary and actually like swiped a card for cannabis. That shit blew my mind. Yeah. I honestly thought the credit card company was going to report me. I was going to be busted like within a week. I was like so nervous that first swipe.
Yeah, that's definitely something. So, and I know my first trip in, it was just like, you walk in and it just, you're kind of looking around and, then they open up the door and it's kind of like opening up the door to Shangri-La, basically nowadays. At least the first one I went to. And, you're just kind of looking around and just like, wow, holy shit. And then that was just a little one in Everett, and then you go down to, like, I went to New Standard for Redworks, and you go in there and it's just like, it's like a boutique shop set up. It's super cool. Everything's set up down the middle. You can see everything. It's it's super clean. It's super modern. It's just like, I guess from, like you said, from where you went from probably, when you started going to the dispo back 10 years ago to where they're at now, it's you can definitely tell they're catering to a different crowd. That's for sure. And they're not afraid to spend a little bit of money on the show aspect of things to make it look the part.
I haven't been in, no, like say the West Coast dispos. I've seen them like on, specials and stuff like that. And I don't think I want to be there in cannabis. It looks too high tech for me. I've seen it where you walk in and you just walk around with like a fob basically, and it's almost like museum pieces. They got like little sections. Well, here's your cannabis in a jar with all
That's
your
exactly what it
beautiful
was.
stats, and you go, doop. I'll take 5 grams of that, and you just kind of walk around. Ooh, doop. 2 of those, and you just kind of go around, and that's a weird experience for me. I don't know. I don't.
But the funny thing is, you're not too far off from the actual experience at let's say New Standard. I'm not gonna say they're all this way, but they have like a little iPad thing, and you walk around the store, everything's in front of you, and she just stood there, and she would talk to you about it, tell you everything about it. You'd be able to look at it, you couldn't smell it, but you'd be able to look at it and everything, and then is that what you want? She'd punch in your order, and then she's okay. If you're all done, she'd send it up to the counter, and then go up there, pick it up, and leave. So,
Right. That's
I guess it's just a it's a point of sale. Just how the thing works. And I guess iPads are cheap, and you know, you
so.
only
Did the iPad talk to you, or did it just take the order?
no, it was a lady holding the iPad. It wasn't a self-serve kiosk yet. I gotta imagine those are probably out there though, somewhere. I'm just cleaning my pipe, guys. So,
I can't. I can't help but wonder. Well, there's gonna become a point where you're just gonna have an app on your fucking phone for your favorite dispo.
yeah, it's called
There
Weed
ain't
App.
even gonna be that. Well, no, no, no. Basically,
Oh,
for the
well,
store that where you,
yeah,
so
yeah.
instead of the iPad, you walk around with your phone, and then I think as you walk by and you scan that strain, it'll pop up on your phone, and like any questions. Instead of that girl, it'll
Oh,
just be
okay.
an interactive video. You know what I
It
mean?
could
This
be.
strain's no for, and then any questions you have, you'll just be like, oh, Turk profile, and then she'll be like, this one is, and I think that's almost where I would rather see that something like that, because you could pack more information into than you know every
Oh,
terpenoid, everything. But the only thing I do not like about that is uh exactly what you said. You don't get to smell the cannabis, and for me, that's what one of the biggest factors in your body choosing the right strain.
oh yeah.
And it sometimes it isn't even the gases or something. There's many strains that I've just, because I do like the gases, I do like the pines, but there's some that you just put your nose on that jar and you're like, wow, that's different, and I want to try that. You know what I mean?
Wedding cake.
And it's very rarely my nose have let me down on something that I've really enjoyed. But going by numbers, or just what's being told to me, I've been let down many a times. Walked out, oh, this isn't necessarily what I thought I'd enjoy. But my nose has never let me down. I've always left with a good choice by nosing them jars. And it's sad that we can't do that these days. I wish we could come up
Yeah,
with something that I don't know.
I don't know. Hopefully things will change. So I know. Yeah, the strain I had to do that was a wedding cake. Wedding cake was definitely one that I will say was the first strain that I could smell and taste both on the inhale and the exhale, and it tasted like angel food cake. I mean, it tasted exactly like the name. I mean, it was just like it was the first time of because it's like you always hear everybody saying it, and you're like, yeah, okay, you can smell it, and you get a little bit of it here, maybe a hint of it, but never like that full flavor. And then you just hit that, and you're like, well, shit. Here, honey, try it. Here, you're not gonna believe this. And then you had to pass it to somebody else who's never had it before, and they're like, wow, that's fucking strange. And that's what it is. It tasted, smelled like, tasted like everything, just like white food cake, white cake. So, you know, that I said, that was one there that definitely smelling it, I wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been my first pick. I'll be honest, I went on it because hey, it's wedding cake and it's the big thing around, so it's like, hey, we'll try it. If it's any good, we'll see what we can do after the fact. You know, so and they had it at the time, so I just picked it up. They had a special on it or something like that. I think it was like 35 for an eighth or something like that. I didn't pay very much for it, so it was reasonable.
So you told us what you had available. I don't think you ever told us what you were actually smoking. Are you smoking the Ron Herrera or
Now
what's
this one
involved?
now it's White Walker Kush. So
What's White Walker like?
it's tastes just like all of them, just earth. It smells odd. This one does. It's a little fruity smell. Probably not gonna be able to see it. I didn't trim this. Oh, shit. Not gonna get that right now. So, but it's got a little bit of a citrus on the smell, but not on the taste that I can taste, anyways. So, but it's got all of these are pretty. They're kind of relaxing, but they're not. They're get shit done. So unless you just sit here and smoke a ton of it, but if I sat here and smoke 2 3 bowls, I go do stuff, go get some stuff done out in the yard, get some stuff done out here in the garage and cleaning and everything. Go to work, without a problem. Clear headed, that's for sure. I do like that. So afterwards, coming down, you're still left. You're not in a fog or anything. You're still clear headed. So I like that during the day for sure. So I mean, working a shop around dangerous equipment, so don't need to be foggy headed. So, but,
So what are you growing in? What is your current grow style?
current grow style is evolving daily. So now we are doing a. Right now, I got 2 different setups going. In my flower room, I've got the frugal system going. I got 2 in there. We'll open up the box and give you guys a show in a minute. Uh, 2 going in 5-gallon bags of Coco Loco in a tray. Um, Water only, basically, worm castings, some Bad Bunny. That's really about it for those. What's in there are 2 of the longest auto flowers that I've had. I'm on day 135, I think, since seed. So, a few weeks. And one's probably finished. We'll take a look. It's Amnesia Haze, is what it is. So I knocked out a good chunk, threw it in my herbs now a couple weeks ago. It was all right, you know, but even then it was still tossing white hair, still making orange hair, still putting on weight, still was a little cloudy. It's been probably 2 3 weeks now. It's almost doubled. Still throwing white hairs, still putting on weight, still cloudy. I'm assuming that's the haze part of the strain, being a sativa leaner. Like basically, it's just going to go as long as I want it to go. Because the other seed I have 2 in there, same thing. I got them from a buddy of mine. And it went into flower about 3 weeks ago. So I'm not so sure, and it's about a foot taller. You've seen the pictures online. And I'm not so sure if I'm ready to go another 6 weeks to wait for this auto to finish. I guess I have the privilege of smoking some of the stuff now. After I pull this down, I'll probably pull it down this weekend. And if it's any good, I'll let it finish. If it's not, I think I'm just going to cut my losses, reset, And in my veg area, I've got I got a dozen clones in there that I can throw right into flower. I've got some Death Star in there. I've got some Jack Herrera in there, and I've got some Alaskan Purple in there. So Death Star is courtesy of Red Ted. Thank you very much for that.
I never really can. Nice. That Death Star is good stuff. Very good stuff.
I like Death Star. It's been a long time since I've had it, and I got it from the dispo. And it's like, yeah, this. I mean, it ticked all the fucking boxes, and it was just on the search to find it. And then I found out it was clone only, and I'm like, fuck. And then met you guys, met Red, got talking to him, asked him, and he was kind enough to give me a cut. And, appreciate
That's a great dude.
Clone since then. So haven't flowered it out yet, so still waiting on that. So it's these ever non-autoing autos.
You know what? I was thinking about it as you were speaking about them, and it kind of, I was actually going the other way as you were talking about it, and because any other time, if you were gonna go a photo period like on a haze or something like that, you'd be vested in much longer of the time. You know what I mean? So with an auto flower, you still can actually get that, high sativa that everybody likes, but doesn't have the patience to grow. Even though you're looking at it right now going, this thing's taking forever. You haven't went photo period sativa where you're actually locked up in flower for 12 plus weeks going, motherfucker, this thing's killing me. So I hear you saying 100 and some days for a good sativa, I'm thinking, fuck, that's shit. That ain't too bad.
Well, I was thinking like,
you know what I mean?
Definitely on the auto side. And then it gets, we'll open up the box here in a sec. So might have to fire the phone up and go that route in there. So I think the Wawa Canna Grows was asking about the Death Star. No, that's the actual Ohio cut. So that is the Ohio cut. So, but yeah, but I like it. I mean, it's the haze. I mean, it's the structure on it looks good. The colas on it are all of. I mean, you'll see. I mean, they're all a foot long. Barely get your hand around them. Solid. So they're fox-tailed, but I think that's just the way it is. Might just be my light. Might just be the way I grew. I don't know. So it all looks good. So if I can take a look here, if you want. I'm gonna fire my phone up, so it might have to let me in on that. It'll be easier than pulling around the.
Yeah, I agree. $64 hanging out. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the show. Well, I know you're enjoying the show. It's silly. So, guys, I was actually thinking about opening the Thanksgiving rabbit hole up to like an unlimited tonight, to where you guys could just kind of jump in and out and run things today at some periods. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Why we've got 64 in chat. You guys up for a 24-hour Thanksgiving? Because at some point today, I was thinking to myself, I haven't seen you pop up. I was thinking, man, I'm going to start cooking anyway, man. And I'm going to probably fucking...
I'm still working.
Why not just leave it running? Leave it running and check in and out on everybody as we can fucking smoke all day with each other. Like a big family gathering. Big cannabis family gathering. What do you guys think?
plan to me.
Chad so far isn't liking it.
All right, now you should be able to look in.
Oh, there you go. You know what? Another part of your journey that I've liked is the meeting a lady in your life that with a father that grows. Because on the other end of it, I'm the father that grows. And it's funny how I can go from I like that sticker. How it goes from defensive mode to you want to see some good cannabis.
All right, so. All right, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so yeah, this is this one. They're all good size. And then that's the other problem. I can't take my light any higher. And I've already burnt the shit out of it. So, but I'm standing on a stool. So that plant is
You may have to turn that mic off.
there we go. Yeah, this auto is well, the taller one is probably 6 feet tall.
Pretty good. Good looking girls. Is that the Mars light there that we're looking at?
Yeah, that's the SB250.
I've heard good things about that light.
I love it. It is kind of that's on this side. So I have a heated garage now.
Man, we got to get you some new slabs. We need to get you that new show slab and, of course, Smiley's slab to throw on that door.
Oh, that's a little better. So these are all the veg. So we've got black and purples, chestnut here, wall. So I've got options. Yeah. I think I might enjoy these a little bit more. So, but yeah, this is the sort of setup right now. So the idea is to have like seedlings up here. I'll move this light up top, and then I want to get like I'll get a bigger light for the 4x4 side and move the Mars light in here to veg under. Is the plan. You're on mute.
I like it. I like it. That's what I did when as I was, learning to grow. It's just repurposed and move things around. I'm still moving things around, repurposing my older lights, creating new spaces. That's one thing as you grow, you'll learn to, you clean out a spot, you'd be like, oh, like a bed's there. Clean out another area.
Yeah, and it's wife just told me it was stinking up the house. So
I get that occasionally too. It's like, oh, I better swap out the filter. Time for a new filter.
So, but no,
So you got
the grow's going to progress. So I've been working with Smiley a lot here the last month or so, a couple months. We've been chit-chatting back and forth with the organics. And everything in the veg is second round re-amended soil from my very first run of Roots Organic. So he helped me with the soil reamendment on it. And then I had a little bit left over, busted out of some leftover pots that I had, and just added some worm castings this time around, and mixed that up, and then put them all in those 1 gallons in there. And then the plan is, and this is where it's probably where I'm a little fluid right now, is depending on how good this stuff is that's in the flower box right now is really going to depend on where I go. If it ain't that great, I'm going to probably throw 9 of those over there in a sea of green, do a quick flip, get me some good pot. Then I'm going to go into 4 30 gallons using the Horizons.
nice. How do you like the Horizons?
We haven't tried it yet, so I'm still working. Still doing the research on it, figuring out where I'm going to get everything. I've got most of it sourced already. I'm going to get a lot of it up by my parents. My parents live up on the Muskegon River, so I'm going to get a lot of the supplies that I need for wildcraft from up there, and get some stuff up there. I live right next to a river down here too, so I can get some stuff around here. So that's what it's going to be. I mean, it's I got probably about a month and a half, I figure, if depending on how either way things go, on how I want to do it. So, but
I just want to clear this up real quick. It seems like there's the Fresh Grow says what strain won me the Cannabis Cup? I've never entered a Cannabis Cup. I've judged a few Cannabis Cups. I've never entered a Cannabis Cup. So if you've maybe heard me talk about my part on any Cannabis Cup, it would be judging, not entering. So sorry about any confusion if you thought I entered anyway. Sometimes it's easier just to talk than it is try to chat, type while you're got the show going.
It's definitely easier.
But yeah, that'd be the case.
Well, no, I did that Soil Academy thing that Leighton and those guys had over the weekend, a couple weeks ago, and that was good. That was really cool. I mean, brains was melted for sure. The organics takeover info that you've been working with Smiley with and everything, and he's been doing has been great. Learning all that stuff there. The guys that you have on, Coots on last night. I mean, they're fun. I followed up after Coots. I mean, what more could the guy ask for? So, so yeah, because I'm working with, because even the Horizon layer, you still have to have that I don't want to say super soil, but you still have to have that good soil that you're working with, so it's just working on, coming up with that. I'm actually going to look at doing a couple things a little different that way too. I'm going to try and get away from even using peat moss. I'm going to try a couple of them using pit moss, that paper recycled product, and going to try that out. And but I got some time to do some research to make sure I'm going into this, with the best options that I got, So and just keep using the soil that I have here. I still got, I think I got like a 25 gallon tote of used soil here that's been re-amended that I plan on mixing in with all of that. So, just not throwing anything out. So, it's just, I'll be honest, the organics wasn't so much me being, I'm not the type that, I don't shop organic. I don't do that. I don't really do that. At the end of the day, I'm lazy and I needed something simple. I started out with Roots Organics. It was like 3 bottles. Stuff smelled like shit. it was a mess. I mean, this stuff's really thick. I mean, it's not like probably what you're using, or if you're mixing up powdered newts, for like a res or something like that. It's a little bit different. This stuff here was like sludge. I mean, it was thick. I mean, just what it was. And then it was just like that. Just took too much fucking time. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have time for that. I'm busy. I needed something that I knew going into this, it was going to require some time and some effort and stuff I had to do. I got that. But I also work a full-time job. I'm up at, I get up with you guys, wake and bake at 4:20 every morning. I get home at 6 o'clock at night. I'm pulling 12, 14 hours of real life, come home, spend a little bit with the wife, and then come out here, work out here for a couple hours, wash, rinse, repeat. I couldn't get into a system of like drain to waste. I couldn't get into any type of hydro system where I was spending hours out here working. And it's a small enough grow that, yeah, maybe it wouldn't have been that long. I mean, granted, it's a 4x4. You're going to have 4 or 5 plants in there. It might not have been too much. But at the end of the day, I was still mixing bottles. I didn't want to mix bottles. I didn't want to mix anything. I don't mind doing the powdered newts and stuff. It's just a handful of worm castings here now. It's much easier, and it's more laid back, and it just gives you more time to focus on the plant itself and enjoying the garden than sitting over here being a mad chemist. I'm not a mad chemist. I don't need to do that. So
I just want to tell you real quick that thank you for having that 4:20 wake and bake with us every morning. That's pretty awesome, bro. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I might not hop in chat. I mean, I'm not a big chat guy. I mean, when I first started out, I got I got the attention span of a squirrel. So, and then talking on here, or I'm getting ready in the morning. So really, I just got you playing. Usually, I got my headphones on or something. I'm walking around the house getting a cup of coffee or stuff. I just don't look at the chat. So for me to pop in, I usually pop in. I'll say good morning, say hi, stuff like that. Shout out a couple people, wave, but to follow the conversations that go on in the chats and any of the shows on YouTube or anything like that. Yeah, I don't do a lot of that. I might follow it for a few minutes, but some of those shows, you're watching that thing and it's like a ticker tape. I don't know how some of you guys even do it. I mean, I know it's said a lot, but yeah, that's just no.
So do you like, tell me, are you a dry trimmer or you wet trimmer?
I got an herbs now dryer. I like smoking pot after 4 days. But
so how do you like it? I like to hear people's response.
So far, I love it.
Good or bad?
I do like it. So but I'll be honest here. When I'm pulling out of my tent, short of my outdoor, which didn't go horrible, but it wasn't. I didn't have a lot out there. I had a couple plants outside, and a lot of the clones that you see, or a lot of the plants that are in my veg, were actually the Jack Herreras and the Alaskan Purples were seeds that I gave a buddy of mine. And he wanted to grow some plants, and it's like, well, here, just grow these outside. And so they got up in the middle of summer. He's like, you want some clones, man? Let's come cut some clones. So we cut 4 clones, 2 of each. I just left those outside. Well, sun went down. They started going into pre-flower and everything. So I had to, re-veg them and cut my clones. Everything's good there. Cut those out. So, what was the question?
It was about trimming, but you pretty much
trimming, yeah. So, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm only on my 3rd grow. So my first grow, I dry trim. So, and I definitely like the dry sift hash from that. So that's a bonus there. I do love that. So, you got the herbs now dryer the next time around. So I did that one. Just trimmed everything up as good as I thought it was supposed to be. Definitely wasn't good enough. This last time here when I cut some out of here, trimmed that up. So I do like it. I definitely like it. It's something that I've learned that you definitely want to pack it full. So, because like this last one here, like I said, I only cut out like, 4 or 5 of those colas, like not 4 or 5, probably like 2 of those colas. So by the time I've, trimmed them all up, put them in the tray, it maybe only filled up like half of the tray. So after, which is supposed to run like 96 hours, after like 3 days instead of 4, so I had like 24 hours left, it was actually finished. So it finished up a little quicker. So that, and it was a little drier in my house. I mean, I was inside, um,
That's
but
been my experience right about that with here in Michigan as well. The only the only difference that I do with mine that maybe a lot of people don't do, from day one I've never used my machine like most do, and I've told him that uh, was as it gets dry, that first time it gets crispy, you know what I mean? That you first can
yeah,
notice it's a little bit crunchy. I will shut it down and let it kind of fucking wick back out almost like start that cure. You know what I mean? Basically, what you in a jar, how
okay,
that first day it wicks out a little bit. I do it with the machine. I let it shut down and wick out a little bit till it's slightly moist again, and then I'll fire it back up. And by that time, man, it's like a full turn. Lock up that jar ready, and it's good. If you ever needed to, slow it down, you always have that moisture shot, or you could drop a shot glass in the center of it. Or
yeah,
what I found works even better is just to add a little bit of the trim on the top layer, or maybe just some leaves from itself, some natural moisture to kind of slow things down up top. I found is a better way to put a little extra moisture in there on drier nights, drier days.
okay,
But I love that my herbs now machine, and even better yet, I was late. I was like, I don't know where I fell in on using that thing for this, but I use it for my hash now too. That last run, I used it for the hash, and I loved it. I actually was going to do a side by side, but the herbs now machine was kicking so much ass on the drying side. I ended up dumping everything into the machine and finishing it off that way. It works was such a great cure for that, and yeah, but good machine for sure. And I like to hear unbiased opinions too.
yeah. No, I love it. So it's you know it's a matter of getting used to using it. I think for sure. I mean, I lent it to a buddy of mine. He I had a lot of first time growers this year. So that I knew, a buddy of mine, I got a crescendo clone for me and him. We both grew one outdoors. We did, threw them in like a 15-gallon pot outside. Here's a tray and just water it all the day. And, he had no way of drying it. This was his only option, that or he was going to wet trim it, throw it in jars, and I knew he wasn't going to burp them. So I took it down to him and said, "This is how you do it," and he loves it. He loved it too. And it's like, where can I buy one? It's like, yeah, about that. Give me mine
They're
back.
coming back out.
That's what I told him. I said,
They're
you're just gonna have to wait. I said he said, he said it's gonna be a little bit. I said, before you can get one. I said, so by the time you get ready for your next run, then I said you should be able to get one by then. So
bigger unit 2.0. So
cool. No, I like mine. So like I said, so I'm not gonna say I'm gonna use it all the time, because I haven't figured out which way I like more. I think a lot of it is trying to figure out what to do with the product. What am I going to do with the trim? I guess at the end of the day, I guess it's going to dictate right now how I'm going to do it. Like what would, like, for me right now, not having anything, not having any bags or anything like that, it'd probably be better to hang it than to dry trim it. And I don't have a lot. I got just that one plant, and there wasn't a lot. That looked like it was going to be pretty easy to trim at the end of the day. So a few fan leaves. So it's pretty much all bud. So it shouldn't be too bad. So I'll probably just hang that. But I like the option of I can cut a couple off, fill up a tray in the dryer, have something, try it, and then hang dry it. Or I can, do a side by side. You know, maybe something you throw in the dryer doesn't cure up as well as if you hang dry it. You know, I don't know. You know, maybe I'll have a strain like that. Maybe I'll have a strain that if I hang dry it, it just tastes that little bit better. So maybe that's what I do. I got a 2x4 tent that I'm gonna that I started growing in. That I'm gonna move out here, and that'll be my dry tent. So because right now my garage with everything running stays about 60-60 all day. So perfect.
That's perfect.
So well, that'll work good. So and then and who knows, a light might end up in the tent. I just don't have an extra light right now. So be dry in the dark. But hey,
Well, you
stranger
never
things have happened. I've come home with stranger things from the store. So
sucker for the sales, it sounds like too, man. I cannot walk by a clearance section. I'm serious. I am sucked in like a fucking magnet that's picking up a car. Whack! I gotta at least look.
you never know what
I
you
might
might
not need shit. How
Yeah.
many times you bought something that you just kind of went, that's too good of a deal, and haven't used for like 6 months or something like that?
Oh
And I
yeah,
find myself like tents, dead of winter. God damn, that's a good deal on a tent.
I got all kinds of shit like that. So, but it was just today. Uh, Wife's got like 20 blow ups outside for Christmas, and she's like, "I need some tent stakes." All right. Well, I wasn't going to Meijer, Walmart, or anything like that for tent stakes. I was not dealing with those people the day before Thanksgiving. Fuck that. Harbor Freight. There we go. I ain't been into Harbor Freight in forever. Hour later, where you at? Harbor Freight. How long you been there? I don't know. I don't know. Smoked joint before I came in? I don't know. Been here probably an hour. Got your tent stakes. Remember those.
They've got a little bit of everything in the freight there. That's
Oh yeah, it's been probably, it was like 6 months since I've been in there. So they had a whole new set of tools, whole new stuff. You know, I was looking for shit. I got my infrared thermometer temperature gun now. They had those on sale. You know, it's shit like that I buy. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I've been wanting one of those. Well, Christmas, you know, that's my problem right now. Is I'm probably a little. It sounds a little bit like you. If I need it, I just go fucking buy it. All right, don't worry about buying it for me or something like that. You know, it's like the wife. What do you want for Christmas? Well, I don't know. I'll just go buy it and you can throw your name on it. Don't worry about it. So, you know, I'm not
oh,
taking.
I that sounds way too familiar. Way too familiar. My kids hate
Oh,
that about me.
I hated that about my dad was the same way. What was it? One year, me and my sisters all because I got two sisters, and we banded together. I think we were all working, so we were buying them. My dad does woodworking stuff, so I think we were buying them like a router or something like that. You know, it was a couple $100. Like a week before Christmas. Oh, check this out, man! This went on sale. I just got this. Yeah, he's got two
Home
now.
Depot's. Oh, they're. I hate. I'm a contractor, so this time of year, Home Depot beats me up,
Oh,
man. This are the tool sales, man. The gadgets all come out right now, and
oh
it
yeah.
is
Well,
so tough every morning to walk by all those deals, the bits, the nice little bit accessory drill kits, and all that shit. Oh man, 2-for-1 tapes.
yep. But I had to go get a couple 2x4s because my veg door, it's a sheet of plywood and it was straight. I painted it with kilts and it turned into a C. Just so I got a new sheet of plywood. Had to get a couple more 2x4s. I'm gonna frame it out before I paint it this time. And So yeah, I'm walking around Home Depot for, half hour, 45 minutes this morning too. Check out their clearance section. Check out all their stuff that they got. Oh, look, freezers. Might need a freezer. It's shit like that. And if I came home with like a small chest freezer for like $80, my wife would probably be mad, but it wouldn't surprise her. That's the catch. She'd be like, yeah, of course you bought it. Why wouldn't you? But in my defense, my wife does the exact same thing. My wife's into crafts and the cricket and all of that shit. So she's got all of her stuff. She's got probably more into that than I've got into my grow. So I don't feel too bad about it.
Crafts can be expensive.
Well, she's on her.
I bet. Much.
She does a little bit of that. But she makes like ornaments, and I mean, one year she paid for our Christmas doing the shit. I don't working like a workhorse, man. That was nice. I come home from work. It's like, what are you doing? Because she was working too. So it's like, what are you doing? I gotta go make all these Christmas stuff. Okay, all right, cool. Eat some dinner. 5:30, 6 o'clock. She go in her craft room. 10 o'clock she come out. All right, go to bed. 7 days a week for like a month. I made like $1,200-$1,500. I mean, it was great, but it's like the next Christmas come up, I'm like, so making crafts? Nope. Fuck that. And it wasn't so much the work because she really enjoys doing it. It's I'm gonna make you like right here. I got a coffee cup. All right, just a cheap little $10 Ozark thing, stainless tumbler thing. She'll make these. She'll put a little tumbler thing on it. I mean, Canna Queen does them too, and she probably has the same fucking problem that my wife's having. I got $10 into the cup. I got a couple bucks into the vinyl. I got my time into it. I'm gonna charge you $15 for this. All right. Will you take 14? No, you're gonna pay 15. All right, or you're just not gonna fucking have it. Well, you deal with enough of those people, and it's like, I'm just not gonna make a cup anymore. Fuck it. You want something, call me. Then I'll make it for you. But I want half the money up front. So, so she just doesn't make a lot of them anymore. She just does them by orders. So
for me, when I got, 'cause even though I do construction, man, and I love to build furniture, that's where my deepest love is. Furniture, curio cabinets, tables, anything that really challenged my intellect. I made these things for a while right here. There's card holders. I made them from like every type of wood you could get, basically.
Yeah, those are cool.
There's my old business card right there, as a matter of fact. Fucking
that's nice.
And yeah, fucking. So I made tons of crafts, but what I found out would be I hated making 100 of them, basically. You know what I mean? One or two were cool, and it was fun to do that project. But once you get into making like 50 of them, it's like, oh, this ain't fun anymore. I'm ready for a new project. Beautiful.
Like, is it coming through? Right.
Yeah, barely. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it. There you go.
It's a black walnut. It's the kitchen table my dad's making for us. So they went down to my uncle's down in Indiana and chopped down 5 black walnut trees, and that's the wood from it. They chopped them down last year. My dad dried it. It's got a live edge going down the side. It's like 4 foot by 10, 4 by 10 feet. So I just got to make a frame for it to go underneath. So I'm going to fab up a steel frame and then have it powder coated black and then that'll be our kitchen table. Then I'll make a couple benches out of the black walnut. So, what my dad does. So
Black walnut's fun to work with. It's
mhm.
toxic to breathe. That dust is terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, he likes it. So he likes doing that. I mean, he goes down to the garage. My mom goes out in her little shed. She makes quilts, and they stay apart and they don't kill each other. So it works out for us. So, right. They've been together for 40 years, so they're that old couple.
Wow, that's impressive. That's
Actually,
really
no,
impressive.
longer than 40. Longer than 40. They've been together over 45 years. So, yeah, 45 years. Oh, yeah. Not going to say they were all easy, so that's for sure. But most of them, almost all of them were good.
How could you not have 45 years and not have a couple of bad days?
It's how it is.
Impossible. Yeah. So is that where you kayak up there in the Muskegon River? I'm guessing.
Yep. Yeah, we go down that river. We live over here. We got where I live. We got Black River over here. We wanted this summer. The whole plan was last year. My dad got a 21-foot pop up for $60 at an auction. Just needs new canvas. So I'm gonna get new canvas this fall or this winter, and put that on there. But the plan was to do it last fall, and then this summer go to the UP and do pictured rocks and all of that up there. But with all the shit going on, it's just like, no, not doing that. So we just do a lot around here. Her parents do it. We got a couple places, we go over to Holloway Reservoir, go over there, and do that over there. We'll do up on my parents' place. We went from Everett all the way down to Hersey, and good 6-hour run there. We'll probably do turn up rock and stuff. But no, it was like kind of one of those, like your wife, your girl or something like that. She says, "Hey, I want to try that," and you're like, "Okay, all right, this is going to cost me a couple $100. All right. Well, I can probably get rid of them too, so I shouldn't lose too much money on this." She loves it though, so it wasn't even a waste of money. Actually, she's always yelling at me, "Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's nice out. Let's go. Okay, let's go, let's go." So she really enjoys it. It really surprised the living shit out of me that she would enjoy it, to be honest with you. So I actually have 3. Those I bought those off of Facebook off a guy for $300. But those are 12-footers, and then she's got a little 10-footer that she likes. So those will work better when we're gonna go do like turn up rock, and you want to go out in Lake Michigan or something like that, or we go out over here. You go out in the lake. It's I live in Port Huron, so I can go right out to the lake. I can go right out down the river underneath the bridge and everything if I want. You want to be in a little bigger kayak than the one you pick up at Walmart. So.
There's so much water around me. It's just wonder that I haven't taken it up. So many rivers and lakes. Probably great exercise. I could see just, that's all you need, some pre-rolls and a kayak and make a day out of it right there.
Edibles, man. That's a perfect place for edibles. But yeah, it is. Yeah. It is so relaxing. It is just so relaxing. Because you just, like when we go up to my parents, nice thing about that up there is we can put right in at my parents' house. We'll put in there, and I just call the old man when we get out. You just pick one of the mile roads to get out at, and you either go for, usually about every half hour you come to a place you can get out at if you want. So, so you just decide where you want to get out. You call him. It might take him 20 minutes to get to you, but you just come and get him, or he can drive you upstream, and they put you in at they're off of 66 and 10, and they put you in up there, and it's like 2 hours down to my parents' house if you just want to do that one. So, that stuff we want to do. We wanted to get up to the Asabo and stuff, and we had a lot of plans this year, but COVID kind of put a kibosh in a few of that, and it wasn't really so much of the whole COVID thing. Is when I got back to work, I was only off work for like 6 weeks. My wife's never been off work. She's just been working from home since March, and probably not going back into work. But she goes back. She goes in like once a week, prints off stuff, and does a few things here and there. She's in HR. And then with me, I went back to work in May. I was off for like 6 weeks, which was nice. I was able to hang out in the garden and get all that done. It was fucking great. The plants looked great. I was actually finished up my college. I actually went back to college. Man, I got my associate's degree at 43. So it was kind of like a bucket list thing. So granted, I went and got a degree in something I've been doing for like the last 20 years. It'd be like you going to get a certification in construction work. Yeah, you're just a formality at the end of the day, and here's the money you need. So, so I went and did that. So that was cool to do all that, and then went back to work. And I was back to work like maybe 2-3 weeks. We were 40 hours a week, but since then it's been 60 hours a week. We've been just busy as shit. So, I haven't really had much of a break or anything. But all in all, I mean, it's for the year itself. At the end of the day, I mean, I haven't visited my parents much, and that's mainly my mom's one of those really high risk people, so she's got enough health problems. She doesn't need me up there every other weekend, so she's got enough people going up north and stuff, hanging out and everything. So, so we get up there probably once every other month now instead of every couple of weeks. Thanksgiving, my sister and all of them came in from out of state. So we just kind of, the grandkids were in. So it's like, hey, why don't you hang out with the grandkids? You ain't got to entertain me. I'll come up in a couple weeks. I'll have some stuff for you. So my sister's husband's a corrections officer, police officer, works for a hospital and stuff. He's there, security detail and stuff. Can't really smoke around him. He kind of frowns upon it. So I don't care, but being polite, I'm not that kind of an asshole, and with the kids and everything and stuff. So, just better off just, we'll just hang out here and stuff. And, you hang out with the grandkids. You ain't seen them in 6-8 months, and you're not going to see them again till spring. So, spend 3-4 days with them and enjoy your time with them. So that's what we're doing and everything. So, it's been a good year. I was an introvert to start with, so spending more time inside didn't really bother me.
Right on. Yeah, I think that's went for a lot of growers in general anyway. If you've been growing for some time, you're pretty used to staying to yourself a little bit and being home all the time. So that wasn't much of a change.
Yeah, I mean,
for myself either.
And we'd go out on the weekends, maybe, you'd go see families who you went and seen. That was it. We got 3 sets of parents. Hers are divorced, so you got her dad, her mom, and my parents. So you'd round robin them throughout a month. If you went one weekend, you were gone. Every other weekend at one of them. Then the stuff that you got going on. So.
Checking out chat there a little bit. Wanting a dab here, 20.
Well, you know what? Yeah.
Maybe we'll hit the dab.
Yeah, we better give him a song. I haven't heard it yet.
You guys want a dab? I'll give you a dab, I guess. I gotta hook up to the speaker. Usually don't have it ready because usually we don't dish it out this early. But it is Thanksgiving, so I guess.
Yeah.
Right? There we go.
Yeah, so we're doing Thanksgiving, but it's just me and the wife. So she went and got everything. We got a turkey, we got turkey breast, we got the mashed potatoes, So this is the fun. So think about it, guys. You have two people, the only people here in the house. I got a little tiny Chihuahua dog. That tomorrow will probably be the only day that dog really likes me. I'll have food all day, and we're both, basically, had bariatric surgery, so we eat very little. So yeah, Thanksgiving sucked. That's the other part too that I hated about it. So, because I love to cook. I think that's why I'm going to get into doing some more of these edibles, get into cooking that stuff.
It definitely would take some getting used to, that's for sure. On my end.
Oh, it did too.
So is it better for? I mean, it could almost be a better thing. I would almost assume, as far as like people like myself that are like borderline diabetic, that it's better to eat. In my case, smaller portions, which I don't. I like the commercial in the background there. Fucking to eat smaller amounts throughout the day to keep my sugar level. You know what I mean? Versus, like I would normally do now, one big meal.
Yeah, no, definitely picking throughout the day. Well, I'll let the song go.
Oh, you can talk over it. They can hear. They know what's going on. It's time to dab. We can still talk if you like.
The surgery cured my wife's type 2 diabetes.
Really?
Yep. She was on the Victoza pens, not the pre-charged insulin or something like that, metformin, all of that. And like her A1C was like a 9, almost a 10. I mean, everything was out of whack. And now everything's perfect. Doesn't take any. I would get. I'll put it in perspective of Kroger points. We would get 50 cents, 70 cents off a month just on her prescriptions for diabetes. I miss that. But no, now we don't have any prescription drugs anymore. I mean, it's nothing like that anymore. I mean, especially for her, it was great for her just to get off of all of those drugs for her. I mean, that shit was just nasty. You think painkillers are bad?
I definitely need change my eating habit. That's for sure. The way it is right now, I put it off to where I eat that one big meal of the day, and then it fucking puts me out like a fucking sleeping pill. The big dose of fucking sugar at once. And that's actually what the last couple of days I've been fucking eating late and fucking passing out like right before the show. Yeah.
I've been doing the last. I'm on vacation this whole week, so I've been doing kind of the same thing. But even myself, I mean, I wasn't a diabetic or anything before, but now because I can't sit and eat a huge meal, like let's see, to put it in perspective, you go to McDonald's and get, say, like a egg McMuffin, right? I can sit down and quickly, let's say, just a couple bites, eat about maybe 2-3 bites. Then I got to put that thing down for 10-15 minutes, half hour. Then I can go back and eat a little bit more. Because if I try and eat any more than that, I'm just going to get like my stomach, I'm just going to get like a real bad stomach ache, and I might get sick. So so that's how I was. I used to just eat like a big meal and then, not eat during the day, not do this during the day, and just eat like a big meal here, a big meal there. Now I found I have to pick all day basically. So I've had to change what we have laying around the house to eat and stuff. So I go and I buy a bunch of we'll get those Kowalski like sausage sticks, like those, like a bag of them, like a 2 pound bag of them, and we'll just leave those on the counter, and both of us, because they're really high in protein, and because that's the biggest thing that we find that we have to eat is that we miss out on a lot of protein, because basically a lot of people are low in protein, but because of our surgery, we just don't eat a lot of protein. And so I eat a lot of that. I've always ate a lot of beef jerky, but I just keep a lot of that stuff on hand at work. I got like a desk drawer full of it, a drawer full of just that stuff. I did find that when I started doing that more, when I got in the habit of just having something like that laying around, even like apples, just anything basically, um, within arm's reach, that it was easier to do that throughout the day, and it just got into a habit to where now I was eating more often and not just those 1 or 2 or 3 times a day. So if that'll help, I mean, that's what I did. It worked for me.
Sounds like what I need to work towards. Just and I know that's the right answer too. It's just hard for me to put into, you know, for right now. It's like because I know what it does to me. It's hard to when I think about eating. It's like, oh, I don't know if I want to fucking pass out right now. So I tend not to, snack. But that's what in reality, that's what I need to do is snack more throughout the day. But
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's what I was doing. I was snacking, but I was snacking on the wrong shit throughout the day. So then we just got better stuff in the house. And that was the one nice thing about having both of us go through it is that I didn't, I mean, you said, you said your girls were going vegetarian or whatnot, and so you were cooking 2 meals. That's a pain in the ass. So one of you is gonna either start eating meat or the other one's gonna stop eating meat. You don't eat a lot of meat anymore, do you? Neither is my brother-in-law.
No.
So it was a lot easier when both of us, that both of us had to do it, so we could cook, but at the end of the day, it's our grocery bill isn't that much. I waste a lot of food, is why I got a worm bin. The wife's like, well, what do we throw in there? I said, all those vegetables that you throw out at the end of the week. I said, throw in the worm bin then. So,
So in the defense of not eating the meat there, I still enjoy I still enjoy meat. Don't get me wrong.
well, so do I.
But it was the thing of like looking down at the girls and like, I mean, how can I look down at my babies and can we please, and it's like the right thing to do anyway. So between the two of not saying no to my daughter and knowing it's the right thing to do, I did start pulling the meat out. Occasionally I will eat a steak or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I
So I
do
mean,
like
it's
the meat.
I don't know.
I'm gonna throw down on some turkey today. No lie.
Oh yeah. I don't eat a lot of red meat anymore. I mean, that was more or less probably the last 4 or 5 years. Prior to even all of the surgery and stuff, we just started eating. 'Cause we started eating healthier anyways. I mean, we were both trying to lose weight. We both were. So you're always trying to eat healthier. You switched to, I went on that keto diet, which was awesome. Here's a diet where you can eat all the eggs and bacon and stuff as long as you don't eat any bread. But you can eat all the bacon you want. Okay, I can do that. I was eating a couple pounds of bacon a week and I lost a lot of weight. I lost 30, 40 pounds, but my mom got sick. Some things happened. I got off the diet, gained it all back and then some because it wasn't a lifestyle change. So and that's what happens is, you do that. Diets don't work. Lifestyle changes do. So, and that goes with anything. Weight loss, it goes with, cannabis, it goes with anything. If your life's not going in the right direction, there's no quick fix. You have to make a change. So, and that's what me and the wife both did. I mean, when I did it, and I just went to her, told her I wanted to have it done. She came to me a few days later and said, I'd like to have it done too. And it was nothing I brought on her or anything. And if she wouldn't have had it done, I wouldn't have changed my view of her at all. So,
It's pretty cool though that you guys did go through it together. It does make it
oh yeah,
so much easier, especially if you got somebody close doing it with you. It does make all the difference.
it does. And like I said, you're not doing two of this, two of that. And the other thing too, it's like you have something to relate to. If somebody's, if you're having a bad day or you're not feeling well, you can say, hey, because the hardest part about the whole thing at the end of the day was trying to figure out when you're full, when to stop eating, because I don't have that signal anymore that goes to my brain that, or I have it now because it's been so long, but right out of surgery, there was two things I didn't have. I didn't feel hungry and I never felt full. So I had to remember to eat. Because when we first got out, because you weren't eating much. You're soft foods, cottage cheese, stuff like that, soups, broths, and everything. But I know there was a good 3-4 days that um, I didn't eat. Didn't even think about it. Or you go all day. It'd be like you said, you go all day, and it's not so much that, hey, I need to eat or something like that. You wouldn't even be hungry because that's the part of the stomach they took out. It's also the part that told you you're full. So you'd be eating and eating and eating till all of a sudden, like a water balloon. And I'm not gonna. It just you kind of can figure out from there. So yeah, Indra's here. Sweet.
Always much respect when Indra pops in.
Oh yeah.
I keep hoping he'll come back and do another episode.
Yeah, he's a good one. I like I said, I don't get to watch a lot of your episodes live just because of my working and stuff like that. But I listen to a lot of them at work. So I definitely listen to a lot of them, and I love your style of podcast like this. Where you're just I don't need to be staring at my phone. Or something. Now, granted, there's sometimes where it's like, oh yeah, check this out. So shit, I'm trying to take my phone out at work, trying to see what it is sometimes. But for the most part, it's a good you know, it's a good thing that I can just shove my phone in my pocket, throw my earbuds in, and I can just work away at work and, just listen to some stories and shit. Because that's what I love, man. I love, I got into the game late. I didn't know a lot about it, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the history or anything like that. So I love hearing about that. I love all these old stories and not even about cannabis, man. I was that kid that went and sat with the old timers and just sat there and listened to the stories that they told because they were just so cool. I would just get just so involved in the stories. Both my grandpas, they said if you just sit down and shut up, you'll hear so much. You just got to shut up. And because I was, babbling on like I am now when I was a kid. So once I started just listening to them and hearing the stories of them and they're all the old Korean War vets and stuff like that. They're all part of my one grandpa. He was part of the Eagles Club, the VFW, this club, that club. So you go and you'd sit down with these guys, and you were like their grandkid. So you hear all their stories and stuff, and you hear stories about your grandpa and everything. That's what I love about your show and shows like yours, where you get into just shows like that, you know, where you have all the other shows, like the bro shows and EO and Growing with Your Fellow Growers, where it's like a panel show where everybody's talking and you're learning and stuff. Those are a little harder for me to listen to at work. Those I like to be sitting down at home and stuff so I can actually watch, because a lot of the times they are showing something on the screen or whatnot. So, but no, it's just to be able to sit back and relax and listen. Yeah, shows like yours and yours in particular, man. That's the type of shows I like to listen to. So,
I like Indra too because Indra is one of my in particular favorites for two reasons. He's got such good. Such a great speaker. A, the way he tells, his stories is awesome. He's got so much fucking life experience and so many great stories. Now here's the bad part because I know he's probably listening. But this is one of my favorites because I get to be like what you've just said there, because he's got the bad reception and he's mainly audio. And the last thing I want is to take away from a story on a great speaker. So when Indra's on, and because he can't have yes, I get the mic off, well, a camera off as well, because the last thing I want to do is yes, I get to fucking sit in this chair. Most time when Andrew's talking, I'm actually like kind of sitting Indian style, and I'm just like I'm watching TV. I'm sitting here with a joint in my hand, like almost like a little kid, just fucking hanging on everything he's saying. And yeah, I dig it. I love fucking Andrew stories. Mila Jensen, the Hash Queen, was another good one in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Kevin Jodrey. I mean, I can listen to that guy all fucking day. All fucking day. I just, him. What's one of those other guys he had on? Donnie Danko. I didn't even know he had a podcast. I started listening to his podcast. It's fucking great. I love that guy. I just love listening to all that old shit. Just all the stories. The stuff going on and everything.
Everybody's story is good.
Oh, it is too. That's where you get the good ones. I got one. I got a good one. Maybe we'll say that one for the rabbit hole. Let's do that. Let's say that one for the rabbit hole. So it's a good one.
That's up to you. That's up to you.
Yeah, we'll save that one. We'll save that one. That's a good one. So, and we can. My buddy used to have a cabin, or his mom did, up somewhere up around you, up off of 4 Mile and 75, up there, old 27, right up in that area. Had a little trailer there. We'd go up, just hang out on the weekends and stuff. Usually what it was is he'd call me up, tell me, hey, heading up north, meet us up there. All right. I'd stop at the liquor store, pick up a quarter barrel, go in the back of the truck, run the hose up through the window, and drive up 75. And that'd be the weekend. We do that every, 2-3 times a month, probably during the summer and everything. So, his cousins would come up and we just hang around, sit around, drink and everything, and just have a good old time. So
it's a nice drive.
It is, So that was, again, almost 20 years ago. So I'm in my mid 40s. So, so you're talking, both me and my buddy out of high school and everything, both of us working. I think he was just married or whatnot, but, his mom was my mom. That's how it was growing up. We were kind of two peas in a pod. And, we just go up there and, we drink and hang out at the campfire and drive around during the day and, and just basically fuck off, His mom didn't care. She was up there drinking with us, his cousins are up there, his uncles were up there. It was just basically a big family, get together every weekend. It was a good time.
I think that's a tradition that still falls for a lot of folks, to be honest with you.
Oh, it is. There's
even I was at Walmart today, and yeah, they're still, the weekenders are still pretty strong today. There's a lot of people celebrating Thanksgiving up here, that's for sure. Well, it's not a slow day.
No, that wasn't too bad around here. So. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, let's see here. What kind of strains are you looking to pop in the future? You got anything that?
Matter of fact, I do. I have. I got some Med Grower 1 gear. Got the Primal, and then I got his the GMO Primal garlic punch. I got that one to pop yet. I got his regular one. I got some. I ordered that Bokashi kit from Brandon. That kit that he was putting together, and I haven't gotten the kit yet, but I got a pack of seeds of his glue crossed with his glue crossed with the Limerella. What's it? Lime glue or something? I forget what he calls it.
That should be good.
Should be good. Yeah. So I got that. I got Lorax there on Empire. He had a GG4 Mac cross I picked up on. Got a small drop of that. I grabbed that real quick. What else do I got? I got a few from you. I dropped some of that Agent Orange, man. Yeah, that was all me. That just went to fucking shit, man. One of them came up ass first, tail came up, went the other way through the plug. Yeah.
Really?
I tried fucking everything. That thing just didn't want to do it. And the rest of them, nothing happened to the other one. You know, but at the same time, I just got my box together. We were going up to my parents. And no, Dave, it wasn't that one. It wasn't his Limerilla back cross. It was his GG4 cross with Limerilla. And we were going with my parents, so I just cut a bunch of clones and moved everything out here. You know, because I had everything out here, and it's like, okay, just go out for the weekend, everything will be fine. Yeah, come back to a bunch of dead clones, a bunch of dead seeds, a bunch of dead shit. I just shut the fucking light off and called it a fucking day. Came back 2 weeks later. Yeah, 2 weeks later. No light on, nothing. One of my Death Star clones had roots out the bottom like this. And it had just been sitting in the dark for 2 weeks. Do it in a pot, fucking growing great. So that one worked.
It's a good keeper though. Good one to snag out of there.
Yeah. Oh shit! That Mike Brower got some of that Limerilla back cross that he popped. That's
I've got. That's pretty good. I got some of the Brandon Russ seeds too. Actually, mine didn't even come from him. They come from White Feather.
Oh, yeah?
White Feather sent me some stuff. Yeah. He sent me this cannabis flag, and then he sent me that Tiger King strain that he's got there, which I want to pop just because the name, to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he sent me some of them seeds. Brandon hooked him up with a bunch of those seeds. So he gifted me some of those seeds from Brandon.
Which ones are those?
Yeah, I think it's the Limerilla times the glue. It's the ones I think he said. I gotta look it up. They're not right on the package. He sent it in the text.
Okay.
Look, right?
That might be the ones that I have, or the ones. Yeah, it's the glue mixed with Limerilla. I just can't remember. It's got the little monkey on the front, I think, if I remember right.
Now you got me curious. I gotta look.
I'd have to go grab my seat back. don't have those out here. But that med grower stuff, I was actually, that's where I'm at. I'm just not quite sure what I want to pop next. So it's going to be one of those three. I'll probably do, I'm going to be doing 4 in my 10 at every time, or 4 in the box at every time is going to be the plan. 4 in, 4 out. So I'll probably pop 6 at a time. If they're not found, then that should give me 3, I'd hope. Then I can pop something else. Or I'll always have, my plan is Death Star is going to be something I'm keeping. I'm keeping that, so I'll always have a spot. I can shove a clone of her in an empty spot at any time. So if I pop 6, 50-50 should give me 3 every time, hopefully, and then I'll just work my way through it. Like I said, I'm not really looking to save anything right yet, unless I find. Because I'm just going to be probably like what you've been saying lately, man. That shit's just going to have to be on fire. You know, I have my rec numbers and my card numbers. I get my mom her card. I'll have her card numbers. But at the end of the day, I only have what's in that box. I only have a 4x4 grow area. That's all I really have. That's all I got right now. So I don't have the opportunity to hold on to a lot just because I feel I would. If I kept a bunch of mothers, I feel like I wouldn't be cycling through them fast enough. So, in my opinion, it might be a year before I get to one, with just going through 4 at a time. But maybe down the road, get a little bigger, we'll go from there. Maybe I go, outdoors, definitely, I have a few extra for outdoor, during the summer every year. That's beds are already prepped for outdoor, man. I already did that this year. I got soils in, stuff's in, compost in, leaves on top, stuff's waiting to go down. I went and got some horse manure and grew some tomato plants. I was getting tomatoes. I could probably still get tomatoes today if I wanted. Those things just never stop growing. So I threw a bunch of leaves on that, and I'm gonna dig out of that and use that for my outdoor compost for next year. So I got a pretty good feeling I'm not going to have to add a whole lot other than rain. So
I actually looked that up, man. There's too many good things on the table right now, not to mention what's in the vault. And it's what he sent me was the TK Northern Lights 5 Haze times the Lime 1 back cross is what
okay.
Ross Cross he sent.
I'll bet you that is probably right up your fucking alley then.
That's what I was thinking when I read it off. I'm like, oh man,
Northern Lights with a lime with a really, really limey back taste. Oh, I'll bet you that's right there, man. That's why
I read it. I was like, man, that's got to get moved up there a bit. So yeah, that might get. That's right here, actually. Sitting right there. That's what I got right there. No wrap, no nothing. Just a vial. That's the way I get all mine, basically.
And I got more of the Alaskan purple, more of the Jack Herrera seeds. I got some more autoflower seeds. I'm just gonna run those outdoors next year. So throw them in some 5-gallon pots, just shove them outside, call it a day. They're fun. Thing I noticed about them, at least the ones that I've grown, compared to the couple photos that I've grown, is the amount of dry sift that I get off them is just outrageous. Even though they look like they got the same amount, like the same amount of frost on them. They just all of the autos that I've grown have had a ton, and I mean a ton of sift at the end of the day, more than anything else. Definitely haven't been as potent, but definitely got the more sift.
I
I
wonder
had
if that
one.
just has something to do with like a weaker trichome structure in the
It might be,
autoflower, just to be a trait that comes from the autoflower.
and it might be. It might, you might have more of them, maybe just not as potent. I don't know. So,
I could see it though because of the fast structure, fast way it grows. That trichome structure, as it grows up, the head just being just like the flower itself, it growing so fast, that head coming up and mushrooming out and just being, kind of wobbly on that weak,
yeah, it
stem
might
that
be.
it grows up on.
I'll have to pay
I could
attention to
see
that
it.
next time if I remember. To see if the actual trichome itself is smaller in size on an autoflower compared to one on a photoperiod, because of how fast they would grow. Because you are right, they would grow faster, wouldn't they?
Well, I'm not thinking it's not necessarily. Well, I don't think it would be bigger. I just think that the stem part of the sport structure of the trichome head, because they look very similar. You've looked at them like a mushroom.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that this part of it,
the stem would be.
it just grows up and blooms up so fast that this part of it never strengthens up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just the trichome comes up, blooms up, and then it maybe gets weak. It's
yeah,
just
just
never time for the carcass to cure up, basically, the outer structure to kind of harden.
all right. That
Maybe.
could be.
Just thinking.
Could be.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So what
Yeah,
exactly did you guys gathered for your Thanksgiving? Is it just a traditional turkey?
yeah, turkey. Yeah, turkey, mashed potatoes, some green bean casserole. You got her cranberry sauce. I don't like that shit. And uh, well, got a couple pieces of pie for dessert.
Sounds like pretty much the same for me.
Yeah,
Had to go to three different places for fucking green bean casserole. One had onions, one had the green beans, and I had to swing into one last stop for some cream and mushroom soup. It was like, yes, the trifecta.
man. This year for grocery store games, we'll just call it, on the random crazy shit that the store has in stock and the random crazy shit that the store doesn't have in stock, is just mind-boggling. I mean, I'm not talking about the toilet paper and stuff like that. I understand that. People are afraid they can't get that stuff. But there's been a few times where I've walked in and just walk down the aisle and just look, oh, you just seen a bare spot in the aisle and you look to see what's missing, and it's just like, why the fuck would anybody want that now during this? Then you look on the shelf and like right next to it is something that you would, in your mind, like I would use this. Just so much of that stuff I see.
It was a different year to shop for the holidays, that's for sure. Just the panic time where the way they put the restrictions down right so close to the holiday, I think it kind of bugged everybody out a little bit, and made them panic shop a little bit, which tightened things, the availability of holiday things a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, especially, you always do run low on some stuff this time of year, but like it is this year here, that much more.
So what do you think will be the next thing that you'll step up in the garden? What do you think will be the next thing, the next tweak to your garden?
Um, the next thing I have to do, I mean, I know what I have to do. I have to get a better lighting. I have to upgrade my lighting. So, I mean, I've got however you want to look at it, it's a 300-watt light and a 4 light. I mean, it does, up high, it does cast out pretty well. And I'll grow just fine in there. I know that. Upgrading would definitely be my next step. I mean, that's where I would like to go. What I want, what I'm going to go into, I'm not sure yet. So, is it going to be getting into a big quantum board, or is it going to be stepping up and just running two in there and then upgrading again? I'm not sure. Watching you kill it with those lights back there, and I've got no problem. My buddy just picked up a T2000. Like something similar you got for his little 2x2. That he's going to do fine in. I think nowadays, unless I'm not to the point where I think like a top of the line light is going to make or break my grow, and I'm going to notice a difference. It's just going to be a lot brighter. That's it. I've got way more things that I can work on to tweak when I go drop $1,200 on it. 1,000 bucks on it. I drop a couple $100 on maybe one of those blue pluses. Something like that, just a small one that I can run side by side and with my SP250 in there. Yeah, I think that would work just fine. Just work just fine, and then I can save up, and go from there. So, and then
I
once
like
I
your
get the
plan.
lighting,
I like.
I think it's going to be a lot of the lighting, get that dialed in, and then after that, it's going to be getting that in everything dialed in. Lights, watering the movement watering systems, but the bed dialed in. That in itself is going to be a project. Kind of why I'd like to get the light prior to the beds because I'd like to get that variable out of the way. I'd like to get the beds dialed into say 80-watt light bulb, and then all of a sudden I throw a 300-watt in there. So if I can at least get the wattage up, you know, say 400 watts, 500 watts, you know, plus in there, both those in there, both those running. And if I do step up to a nicer one down the road, then at least the light's just going to get a little brighter instead of a lot brighter. I'm thinking in my mind that's better. So in the meantime, I'm dialing in the soil, getting all that going, getting all that project.
Yeah, the cheaper lights. I've said that. Ever since I've been running them back there, it makes good sense to me to just kind of stack them cheaper lights like that. Again for that 1,000, 1,200 bucks, like you're referring to for the one fixture, I could go three of the Boom Pluses and buy the 10, a 4x8 10, to where you could spend, like you're saying, 1,000, 1,200 bucks just for the light to power a 4x4 or a 5x5 area, where you've done the math. Now you can, for less money, you've set up a 4x8, not a 4x4, but you're doing
Yeah.
a 4x8. You actually doubled the space, and you're still under the mark under that what you would have spent just for the fixture on the other side. And again, as you hone your skills, you can take those lights down, make them veg lights, whatever, smack bigger lights in there, whatever. But at
Yeah.
least you've got to get in and crush it for a couple of grows before you had to fork out that money for the one big light. Shit, this could save you the money. You know what I mean? What you could
Yeah.
produce in a run or two right here would save you the money to fucking buy that next bigger light.
That's what it is. It's like you said, what's the next upgrade? It's trying to find that. Um, the weak link. Right now my weak link is the light. So, I got my environment pretty well dialed in. That seems to be running pretty well there. So my weak link right now is I need more light. So get that dialed in. Hey, Christmas is coming. I'm putting shit in the Amazon shopping cart. So, every now and again, boxes just show up at the door. I don't know what to tell the wife. Box just showed up. Shit happens.
Amazon's got a wish program. They show
Hey,
up whenever.
I'll be honest. I checked into that Sezzle shit where you make the payments on the stuff. That's not a bad option either. My buddy actually did it on something. He said it worked out pretty well for him. If you're looking at getting into like maybe a $400 or $500 light, you can do it a couple hundred, $100 a week. That's not a bad option.
I actually had a buddy of mine, the first TGA rep, the guy kind of took his job after he left. I don't like to refer it like that. I guess I'm filling in for him when he left, I guess would be a better way to phrase it. He was actually one of the first people in Flint, Galactic Gardens. He ran right there. And that was like a hydro shop. And then he sold, of course, TGA beans and a few others, you know. But when the medical scene first started popping off there and he had the grow store going, and before Amazon and all that shit, he offered grow packages. Same shit that, you could go in, fill out a credit form, and fucking he'd send you home with a fucking light, fucking tent, fucking dirt, seeds, and you paid him after the fucking first grow was done.
Yeah.
You didn't have to even make a payment until the fucking you harvest your first harvest, and then you could pay off the lights or make payments at that point. And I thought, man, how badass is that? It was all about getting people going, man. Yeah, big-hearted dude, man.
Yeah, it's great. It's great that he was able to do that.
I haven't seen too many people do that shit since.
Wow.
Still.
I know. I remember. I think Tara Wilson's grow store guy did that. For her. With her light, let her make payments on it as she's going along. Really helped her out. So it's good. It's good that my local guy here. He's. I ain't saying he take payments. But I've seen him. My first time walking into the store, because you're always, they're just going to push stuff on you. I watched a guy come in. It was his first grow, and he had more spider mites and God knows what else in that thing than they knew what to do with. And I watched that guy at the store basically tell the guy, I hate to tell you this, but it'd be cheaper in the long run to cut it down and start over than for me to sit here and try and sell you a bunch of stuff that probably isn't going to work. Been going there ever since.
That's good advice sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to fucking hear that, but sometimes that is great advice. So it hurts, but yeah.
And for me to watch it from a guy that owns a store, a grow store, look at a guy knowing full well he can probably push him out that door with what, $150, $200 worth of products to try and kill something. At the end of the day, this plant's going to die anyway. So you're not really going to blame the guy at the store. He might get mad, but for him to just say, hey, why don't you cut your losses? Here's a couple of things to clean out your room when you're done, to get rid of all of that stuff. Here's some new stuff to get you going again. That right there really, hey man, you're a pretty cool dude. So
I have respect for people like that too. Got to. They're hard to find anymore. That's for sure.
They are.
So still 59 kicking along. Heck yeah. Hope you guys are having a good Thanksgiving so far. I'm still smoking on some more. I'm gonna roll up some more. Small nug. It was a big big old nug before I took the stem out of it earlier. And this is that Twisted TK that's been pretty good.
Is
I
it?
actually threw it in there. I didn't even really hear a whole lot of that TK strain until as of late. And it sounded pretty good. And I happened to look down. I've got seeds fucking everywhere. Everywhere I've got seeds fucking laying around. And I was looking at, I think it was the psychedelic warlock sent me a pack of seeds. And it
Yeah.
had a bunch of different breeders and stuff on it. And it had one of the things he sent me had a TK cross in it. And I was like, huh, I'm gonna drop this. So I threw it down, checked it out. Not bad. I could see a little bit of what the hype's about. I like the Feely side of it, the OG side of it. It's good. I seen another one the other day that had that golden goat in it, and I was like, maybe I should work with that as well.
If you're looking.
So much stuff. I got two new testers here from Empire that's got to go down yet. The 6 shooter and the citrus blazer. Both of those I'm got to pop yet. I still got that new tester from Medgrower one with the Biscotti times primal in there. I need to draw. Cana sent over a tester. Man, that's one of the other reasons too, man. I'm telling you, unless it's actually just fire, man, it's got to go, man. The pheno hunt is going to be large over here in the next little while,
Yeah,
man.
that's how it is. But it sounds like once you get it going, you're gonna be fucking set, man.
Just right now, man. I mean, over here, I guess I'll give you a little peek of yeah, edge over here, but just over here, there's you can't hardly
Nope.
you can't see that much. There's actually, there's the Empire Breeding Co's Barbecue Gorilla. We got the Sangria, Agent Orange Jelly Bean, and then a bunch of, cuts of, there's Jack's Velvet Punches here. I got Can of Queens, Manje Delight on here. I know I fucked that up, Kana. Fucking Jack's J1, fucking Primal Punch. I got the Smash Cake still going, the Garlic Punch. And
You
I've
got a
got
couple
about
of each of those, don't you?
16 strains floating around right now. And some of the bitch about that is they're first rounders. So of course, there's one of this pheno, one of that pheno, and in the weaning down phase of even if it's going to be kept, you know what I mean? So and then to go through it all again right behind this, it's gonna, like I said, it's got to be great. Somebody's gonna have to be like that. It's just amazing for me to go. I'm gonna keep it. Or one of my patients, I can't live without that.
Yeah, I mean that's just
So
good. And at the same time, it sounds like like your patients are gonna get a real nice new set of rotation coming through for them too. So
well, they've always had that. They've
yeah,
always had that. So I think that's one of the things. And with the perpetual harvest, I like to stagger all that. So every month they do get, it's usually working out to where every month there's 3 to 5 flavors that you didn't have next month. And then, what you had next month maybe be 2 months back down the road. So they evolve, they pop up and down like whack-a-moles around here. But, it's never the one thing always. And it's always good and fresh. It's never fucking dried completely out. You know what I mean? Powdery shit that's been sitting around from one big harvest. And, I'm just kind of steadily dishing it out. You know what I'm saying? It's so they do seem to be pretty happy. I'm happy. If
hopefully
they're happy, I'm happy.
that's what counts.
Just looking a little bit here in chat.
We can talk about
Have you ever
turkeys.
have you ever deep fried a turkey?
Yeah,
Fucking
once.
joking. That'd be
Still
fun.
once. Yeah, Smiley's talking
How'd it
about.
go?
It was awesome. It was awesome. But honestly, I usually my favorite way is smoking them. I like smoking turkeys. I like smoking meats. I mean, used to do briskets. Used to do a lot of pork butts. Used to do a lot of used to take a chuck roast and smoke that, then break that down into like chip beef. That was really good. Used to make my own bacon and stuff. So, and then
Like barbecue beef. Have you ever like that roast that you're just talking there? You know, when it breaks down, you know, just smothering it in some barbecue
yep.
sauce and making like almost pulled beef
Oh, that's exactly what I do.
sandwiches out of it.
Exactly what I do.
So good.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of the smoker myself, man. I went through that phase when I first got it. The same thing. I stuck anything that would fit in the fucking smoker. Yeah, sure did, man.
you just go to the store looking at shit to figure out what the fuck am I going to smoke tonight.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't really care for was, for some reason, was ham. I never smoked a really great ham. You know, ham was just better cooked in the oven, but got too dry. Had a super smoky flavor. Super smoky flavor. It just wasn't. Everything else was good. Everything else was good. Smoker.
Yeah, we did like a 15-pound turkey one Thanksgiving. Well, I want to say that was a Thanksgiving that it was like 20 degrees outside. So, trying to keep a smoker at like 250 degrees for like 6 8 hours at 20 degrees outside.
I like the new. I've got my one of the new electric models. They look pretty badass with the self-feeding pucks and shit. That's give me a little beep beep when it's done. That's I kind of like the sound of that.
I think my dad were looking at those with how the cabela's, and he was just like, "Yeah, that's pretty nice." And it's just another one of those things that's like, "Yeah, but for like $30 more, you can get it to do this." Yeah, but for another $30, it'll connect to your phone. It'll let you know when the temperature is down. It's like nickel and diming you. The next thing you know, you spent like $500 on a smoker.
Oh man, I actually had to have some of the best self-control I've ever had buying a grill this year because I'm usually that guy that same thing. They had some amazing grills this year. Fucking ovens built right in them. You could cook a turkey while you're fucking barbecuing on some of them grills this year. And it's like, oh.
And then air fryers built into them this year. My dad's buddy up north, he's got a dual station propane deep fryer, like fryer. So when he's barbecuing off like for like a party and stuff, yeah, he's over there dropping baskets of fries on the fryer. Like Jesus, man. He's got the big potato thing, so he just cuts the potatoes right there, drops them right in, fresh.
That sounds like a good place to fucking go eat, man.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah.
like you're pretty lucky to go over there on a barbecue.
Oh yeah. He doesn't fuck around. You got big, huge, like old school rectangular rotisserie. He just shoves a bunch of wings in and shit. And he'll make barbecue and hot wings that way over the charcoal. While everything else is smoking or grilling. So.
I almost had bought it was a tough call. I went like a year or two without a grill, if you could believe that. I moved up here and moved up here in the middle of nowhere. And I went from like down in like a Owasso area where I had more relatives that came by. And I was barbecuing all the time. That's another thing. Once you buy one on grills too, it's like, all right, now I got to have everybody over every weekend because now I'm fucking cooking. I'm cooking something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was the same thing. We thought, well, we moved up here and there was nobody up here. Nobody was like, I'm just gonna fucking roll up for a barbecue that day. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna drive 2.5 hours for a barbecue, then have to roll 2.5 hours home. So it really slowed down. So I said, fuck the grill for a year or two, and I went out and bought one this year. And man, it was like one of them things, man. What do you buy, man? Do you buy that big old? I seen a big old griddle. I seen like 3 foot around. You can make pancakes. I'm like, man, certain things are good on the griddle, but not everything. You got to have flame. And then yeah, I'm thinking now, again, I like to smoke things, and they had some nice all-in-ones, but I just couldn't fork over some of the cash for some of them ones that. So I just kind of went mid-grade. I was like, I still got my smoker if I needed a smoker. They had some amazing grills this year.
My barbecue grill's holding up the plywood. I've had that for probably 10 years. I probably put 5 or 6 new heating, burners in it. I've always had it in my garage because I've always grilled year round. I had it out on my back porch when I first moved into this house one time, 1 year. Out there in the winter, and it's just a covered patio or something here. Now it's just, that'd be a little different now with the. I still be grilling outside of it. Usually I would just pop open the garage door and go right there. So we're two bags. I get a little colder down the bottom. We'll see.
Mike's out in the elements.
I've always wanted to just build one of the ones out of my porch, out of my deck, like one of the built-in ones. Everything. But then it's like you said, it's like, how often would I be using that? That just would waste of space. Money spent better.
I like to cook outside, that's for sure.
Even in the
winter. I miss that grill in the winter, but I'll tough it out. I'll stand out there and grill some shit in the winter time. Just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's not like you got to stand there the whole time.
Yeah, some stuff. Chicken. Some good chicken, you got to be close to the grill.
Yeah.
Flame up on you a little bit. $55-gallon drum. I've always wanted one of those.
I was actually looking at making one of those back in the day, but I think it just ended up turning into a burn barrel.
Yeah. They're more handy too, though.
A burn barrel put right over into it.
Fresh growth. You must have a fresh Thanksgiving supply of dabs, fresh grow. Every time I look up, he's like, Dab Bell.
Well, time is it? 3:00.
3:01.
You want pretty good at calling it here, but we want to come back for the rest. I didn't get up, walk around, go to the bathroom, get some drink.
Right on. That sounds good. Sounds good if you want to. And it's hopefully Smiley's up. I know he's in chat. He'll pop on, smoke, hang out for a while.
Yeah,
Still get to
that,
hear
that
that
was that
story,
was the
hopefully.
main reason of doing the episode. So now I can get on and actually smoke for 20 minutes with you guys alone.
Right on. Right on. Uh, Looking forward to it, man. Really.
Yeah, that'll be the night.
I, I've always wondered how people think about what people think about having to do. That's one of the things. I guess I kind of did purpose just because I was like, well, if I don't put that rule into play, then uh, I may not have
Probably just gonna come on.
spotlight shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's just gonna come onto the rabbit holes all the time. You know, I had to put that little rule into play to keep the spotlights going.
Hey, Smiley, I'm the guest, so I can take the bathroom break.
Well, if you want to jump into the rabbit hole, you know what you got to do too. There's that one last step.
Oh yeah.
One last step. You got to leave your mark on the episode. You gotta leave your sound bite before you go.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I just hit record.
All right. So this is what episode we at?
248.
248. All right. So you got Big Jar Grows here, episode 248. Talking fucking shit with Eagle. Having a good night talking. Most of you guys are probably hungry. You've been talking a lot of food tonight. I know that. But gonna check out here. Why don't you all come back and we have the rabbit hole. Talk to you guys later. Work.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure to do this episode with you. I've met you firsthand in person, but getting to sit with you and have this conversation with you has been an honor.
Oh,
Truly.
yeah.
Another fellow Michigan grower, and I have nothing but respect for you. So thank you very much, my friend, for hanging out and helping me buy another, like I said, helping me buy another night for everybody to hang out, and I'm very grateful for that. So take your bathroom break, get something to drink,
Yep.
and we'll let's plan on like 15 minutes. We'll take 15-minute break, and then we'll be back.
All
Well,
right.
you can pop back in whenever you want, but we'll call it 15 minutes on my end, and I'll be back in. Hopefully, you'll pop back in when you're ready.
Oh yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back. It's been a great time, man. I appreciate it. So, it's been really fun
Thank you.
staying on. I don't get to do this much. I don't have a lot of people to talk to. I gotta, my wife will only listen to me talk about pot for so long. So it's about 10 or 15 seconds. So,
That's not very long.
no. All right, man. We'll talk to you later. Be back in a few.
All right. You guys that hanging out, hopefully that you will transfer over to the rabbit hole. Tonight's rabbit hole, I believe, will be a little bit different. The Thanksgiving rabbit hole, as it will be labeled. I think if you guys are game, I will kind of leave tonight's rabbit hole open-ended. If you are one of the past guests that are hanging out and want to come in, we'll just leave it rolling. I'll check in, do my thing. I may be in and out, but for the most part, I think it will be a free for all for those of you that want to hang out. That I'll just leave it running and start and stop it. Check in from time to time and let people come and go. If I check out, I'll assign somebody to be the host of the show. I step away for a minute and let them run things, and then we'll see how it goes. So get ready for the Thanksgiving rabbit hole. See you guys in a few. If you're past guests, I see a lot of you. Fresno, Smiley. Who else we got in chat? Shit, a bunch of you. Aldridge, you haven't done your episode yet, Aldridge. Jeez. Anyways, Sir Howell, he can pop in. the American one, Jack, all you guys. Whoever wants to pop in, welcome to the Thanksgiving special rabbit hole. I'll see you guys in a few. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Don't forget, do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives.